Hello, people. Me start stream late? What? Never. Um, sorry. Anywho, welcome, one and all. Uh, I just updated my stream to how originally it said Pokemon. We're not doing Pokemon, we're doing Death Battle today. I'm sorry if you wanted Pokemon. Um, jeez. Apologies, everyone. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. Um, but yeah, we're here. We're doing Death Battle. We are right at the start of Season 4. We did the first episode of Season 4 last time. So, we're gonna jump into it as soon as I get everything set up here. Right, I gotta get. There we go, and we gotta get. Now, alright, now that we're in Season 4, I think I'm gonna change this. Based on the episodes we're going to watch today, I think this will just be... Bing Bang Boom Bop Life Battle. That would be something. That would be something amazing. But yeah, now's the part where they start talking about characters more and they start going into spoilers. So yeah. I'm gonna be putting up a spoiler warning for each stream now. So Season 4 is an interesting one. And I was looking back at the episode lineup for this. Season 4 is like half the episodes are mid, just very mediocre, forgettable. The other half are fantastic, like some of the best in the entire series. We're going to be starting off with one on the better end with Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. Which is a hell of a matchup.
Some people adventure for wealth. For others, the wealth is in the adventure.
Either way, you'll be successful if you can bounce off your enemies' heads.
Like Scrooge.
Let me know how the volume is, by the way.
Waterfowl to ever live.
And Shovel Knight, a shining example of the code of chivalry. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons.
But yeah, this is a weird matchup. Shovel Knight was still
a death battle.
Relatively new at this point.
In 1867,
But it's cool.
Scrooge McDuck was born to a poor family in Glasgow, Scotland. He grew up a relatively normal duckling until his 10th birthday.
Scrooge's father took him to see the remains of the old McDuck clan castle. See, their family wasn't always super poor, and Scrooge was inspired by the sight of their former glory. So the next day, he got a job and earned his first money ever. A dime.
Problem was, it was an American
Video's
dime,
a bit
and
quiet.
Scrooge was in Scotland. Naturally feeling pretty cheated, Scrooge swore he built his fortune by being, I quote, tougher than the toughies and sharper than the sharpies.
So he hopped over to America to start his quest for wealth. And judging by his money vault today, where he literally swims in gold, I'd say he did a pretty effing good job.
There,
No
that should be
obstacle
a
was too
bit better.
difficult to keep him from fortune. By my estimations, his entire net worth today rests around $300 quadrillion.
Rich as he is, he's got to defend his treasure trove somehow. So this
Yeah,
wealthy
Scrooge has, like,
waterfowl's got
literally-
more guns than I do. Not to mention the trusty cannons
Like,
he has
nearly
hidden around his
100
manor.
years of history.
Nothing like some old-fashioned artillery for home defense.
Scrooge also has a number of unorthodox high-tech firearms.
Or as normal people call them, laser guns. My favorite is the one that can shoot through solid steel titanium. It's called the Burglar's Stunner, but I'm pretty sure that'll do a hell of a lot more than stun you.
Well, my favorite
Guy with
would
the
be
shovel
Scrooge's neutral-friction and
versus
anti-inertia rays.
Duck
By removing
with,
a target's natural friction and inertia,
fucking guns.
these guns can turn a foe so slippery they can't grip anything, or take away all momentum from that foe's movement and weight. Without friction, a person will slide miles upon miles with no hope of
These
stopping
weird human
themselves.
dog police
Without
frighten
inertia, a
me.
cannonball will have even less impact than falling leaves, though it is important to note that these guns do not affect personal gravity.
Yeah, science and stuff. Though if I were him, I'd prefer the feel of one of his rifles or swords.
Or his signature sidearm, his trusty cane.
What's so special about a dusty old cane, you ask? Well, just look at the old quack go! Not every duck can turn their cane into both a club and a pogo stick.
Even when he's unarmed, Scrooge's thirst for wealth has pushed his body past many preconceived limits. He possesses incredible strength, speed, and durability.
Not to mention, the dude's got some serious huevos. One time when he was stuck in the savannah, he walked right up to a lion, beat it in a roaring match, and then just rode it all the way to town.
He's also a surprisingly skilled
That's
marksman.
metal as
Like
hell.
some sort of gun-toting Mr. Miyagi, he can shoot flies out of the air with perfect precision.
And he's no slouch with a blade. Apparently, Buffalo Bill taught him how to knife fight in, Injun style. And now's a great time to remind you that Scrooge is pretty old. It was a different time.
Yikes.
Racism aside, it takes a lot to put this mighty mallard down. He survived the Titanic sinking, being frozen solid in
He
the Yukon,
fought
fighting
Teddy
hordes
Roosevelt?
of wild animals, and taking a cannon shot to the face before being dragged through a minefield. He's even survived a trip to the literal center of the Earth, which, if you've forgotten, is pretty much super lava.
That's putting it mildly.
How?
The Earth's core is estimated to be well over 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
More than hot enough to cook your goose.
He's outrun a cheetah, which can reach 75 miles per hour. He's stopped a charging water buffalo, which can weigh up to 2,600 pounds.
And did you ever hear that legend where George Washington threw a silver dollar across the Potomac River? Well, Scrooge can do that too. And he even caught the coin on the other side. Because Scrooge isn't gonna waste a single dollar.
Seems pretty impressive, but Scrooge has some massively problematic flaws. Least of all is his age. He's 150 years old. That won't do him any favors in a fight.
And why can't he fly? I mean, he's a duck with his own private plane, and he has human teeth, and they really should just hire a poultry scientist at Disney. Oh, I'll send my resume.
Well, more importantly would be his overpowering greed. He can often lose sight of his goals or explode into an uncontrollable rage if someone threatens his wealth.
He is pretty selfish and has a one-track mind. I don't know if the uncontrollable rage part, though, is such a bad thing.
Certainly not in some situations, like the time Soapy Slick tried to rip Scrooge off, steal his property, and humiliate him by chaining him to a steamboat and making fun of his letters from home, including one informing Scrooge of his mother's passing.
That's more than enough to piss Scrooge off. So much that he literally tore the entire boat apart with his bare hands. Or wings. Holy damn, that's some real foul strength.
Just goes to show that nothing can stand between Scrooge and his wealth.
I don't know which was wilder in those days, the wolves or me.
I like Scrooge. I'm always glad when they include these like slightly goofier
A
characters.
long time ago,
on Death Battle.
the world was wild, and adventurers roamed the land. The most famous of whom were partners Shield Knight and Shovel Knight.
Alright.
You can tell how good
There.
they are by the giant
So
piles of loot
again, let
behind
me
them.
know if
Shovel Knight
the
and
volume's
Shield Knight traveled
okay.
together,
I'm just
and they were the
trying
stuff
to
of
adjust
legend.
things.
That is, until the Tower of Fate.
Shovel
Once
Knight's a
inside,
good
cursed
ass
amulet
game.
knocked Shovel Knight out cold. When he woke
I'm
up,
interested
Shield
in
Knight
that
was gone, and the tower was
that
sealed
Castlevania
shut.
like
And
the
boy, did
it's
that bum him out. So,
Nina
like all
and the
depressed heroes, he
something
abandoned
that
everything
Yacht
and
Club
went to the wilderness
is
to do a
developing.
bunch of farming and most likely drinking.
But
Soon
yeah,
after
the
he
thing with Shovel Knight
retired,
is
an evil woman called the Enchantress
he
took
only
power,
had
along with a group of villainous
his
knights
one
known as the
game at
Order
this
of No
point.
Quarter. Get it?
barely even
Funny.
any of the add-on
So
stuff,
maybe retiring wasn't the most
so he does
responsible
not
idea.
have too
Man's
much
gotta
to go
mourn,
off of
Wiz.
here.
Man's gotta mourn.
You mean like when you took a week off to mourn after your divorce? Because I'm pretty sure all you did was get drunk and shoot fireworks at my house.
Ah, yeah. Man, that was a real good mourn. Well, anyway, Shovel Knight's break didn't last long. After the Enchantress and her knights took hold of the land, the Tower of Fate unsealed. Knowing it was his only chance to find out what happened to Shield Knight, he dug back into action. And with him, he took his mightiest weapon, a shovel.
Don't sell it short. It's not just any shovel, it's a shovel blade. And thanks to its surprisingly versatile nature, it can slash through anything from rats to...
Holy crap, did he just kill a dragon with that thing?
Yes, he did.
That reminds me of the time I made my own weapon out of a yard tool. I miss my rake blade, but everyone got really confused and offended whenever I yelled my catchphrase, "Prepare to get raked!" So I stopped using it.
Oh, probably smart. Well, thanks to the Shovel Blade's unique attributes, Shovel Knight
Anyway,
has a repertoire of deadly
Shovel
attacks,
Knight.
his signature being the shovel drop.
This deadly downward drop allows him to dig into his enemies pogo stick style. Now, where have I seen that before?
He also has a charge attack that, when unleashed, does massive damage and can even penetrate armor. If his enemy is more than a scoop's reach away, he can strike the earth to fire a dangerous spark that travels along the ground.
You know what else it's good for? Digging up all of that sweet, sweet treasure.
It does.
But
It
the
is
Shovel
kind
Blade
of
is
funny
far
them
from
going
his
so in
only
depth
weapon. Throughout his journey,
about
Shovel
a
Knight
guy who
acquired
has
many magical relics, which are quite
comparatively
handy in
little
battle,
in terms
though
of
they do require access to a
story
limited supply of
or
magic to use.
He can
abilities.
set stuff on fire with the flare wand, or punch through compact dirt with the dust knuckles.
He can also take the wind out of his enemies with the throwing anchor, or fly a short distance with the propeller dagger.
If Shovel Knight needs to kill bad guys
Why'd
in
you use
those
the propeller
hard-to-reach
dagger there?
spaces, he has
Stupid.
his trusty Chaos Orb, which acts like a bouncy ball of doom.
He also possesses the Mobile Gear, a mechanism which allows him to traverse dangerous terrain such as spikes and small gaps with ease.
Mobile gear. But my favorite relic is the War Horn, which is kinda like the Horn of Gondor, but it makes people explode.
Shovel Knight carries a few defensive relics as well.
Yeah, like those sweet fish goblets.
You mean the Truple Chalices? These special liquid receptacles can carry ichors, substances which, when drunk,
Well,
provide
in
certain
that
benefits to
situation was
Shovel
because
Knight.
you're supposed to
Most
bounce on
notably,
those
the Ichor of
guys.
Renewal, which fully restores his health and magic.
And how do you get such a useful liquid? From a bunch of fish that perform an interpretive dance and spit in your cup. It's dinner and a show.
Last but not least is the
Trowpole.
Phase Locket. This relic allows Shovel Knight to pass through his enemies and even grants him temporary invincibility while under its effect.
Like all good knights, our shovel-wielding friend protects himself with a suit of shining armor. Actually, he's got a few of
The
them.
His
Baz.
most capable
Baz
all-around
mentioned.
set is the Dynamo Mail. Along with providing the kind of defense you need for fighting the forces of evil, it has an added bonus. Hitting just about anything with his shovel drop builds up a powerful charge.
I love how Baz is just now
Only
like
a large suit of armor comes with
a
lot of
a
extra
canon
weight, but
part of the Shovel Knight
doesn't let that
universe,
slow him
and
down.
he's like
Even
an
in
actual
full plates,
character
our
in it.
delving hero seemingly never tires and is
It's
agile enough
amazing.
to dodge everything from cannonballs to fireballs.
Actually, the weight is more of a bonus since his attack of choice is bouncing on heads. Where's math that?
On it, comparing his height to these doors, Shovel Knight appears to be about 4 feet 6 inches tall.
Manlet.
Given his broad physique, he likely weighs approximately 100 pounds at most. In
Manlet.
the 14th century, a knight's plate armor for combat typically weighed about 60 pounds. Scaling to Shovel Knight's height, his armor likely weighs 50 pounds. Including the 5-pound shovel, he must drop with a force of over 6,700 joules of kinetic energy. In comparison, Mike Tyson can punch with up to 1,600 joules and has knocked out 44 people in the ring. And Shovel Knight's striking power is over 4 times stronger than that.
Good job! No wonder Shovel Knight was able to take down the entire Order of No Quarter.
That means
including
Shovel
a
Knight could
giant
kill Mike
steampunk
Tyson
mech
in a
and
fight,
the
right?
Enchantress herself.
He's also stubborn enough to hold his breath underwater for an impressively indefinite amount of time. And he even held his own against the Battletoads and Kratos, the upcoming god of war.
What the hell? Really? That's awesome! Guess you sell enough games, you can get anybody.
But even after all that, Shovel Knight
Unfortunately,
doesn't seem
that
the
does
most
not mean
intelligent
that
warrior.
Shovel Knight
After all, the only
scales
reason
to
he gave up on Shield Knight
Kratos.
for so long is because he just
Otherwise, he would
assumed
be
she
like
was dead.
Universal
Still,
or
he's one
something.
deadly warrior who isn't afraid to put his enemies 6 feet under. You know, because he digs holes and stuff.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, I've got some free food for you.
I don't care, 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 I don't
Heading to
care, I don't
Beals
care.
Blue Apron.
Adam!
This fight animation's really cool. Cause it's all 8-bit. Of course they fight over gold and money. It's also like, yeah. I mean, it's literally their, like, official sprites. They probably could have found some, like, crusty Mugen sprites for them both. Oh hey, Kim, you're just in time to watch Shovel Knight fight Scrooge McDuck. This is a fun one. Yeah, they used some Mario sound effects before. They gotta make it all pixely. And he is dead. Oh my god. I like
Damn, that's cold.
the
With
happy-go-lucky
his own weapon.
DuckTales theme in the
Shovel
background,
Knight
though.
might have been able to uphold the code of chivalry, but he could not hold up to Scrooge's wealth of experience and superior strength.
Aside from the extra 100+ years of experience he's got over Shovel Knight, Scrooge's feats blew him out of the water. For example, there's no way that Shovel could have put him down very quickly when he's powered through a minefield like it's nothing.
And remember how he threw a coin across the Potomac River and rode across
He
fast enough to
dropped
catch
bags of
it?
money when he
Well, we know
died.
the average width
I-
of the river is 1,300
Oh, I don't know if
feet,
that
and
would
he
have
threw
been
the
a
coin
nice
at an angle of
touch
20
if he had the little
degrees.
money bags
After
float
some
out of
quick
him.
calculations, this means he must have thrown the coin, boarded his boat, rowed across the entire river, and exited the boat to catch the coin in less than 5.4 seconds. This means he must have been rowing the boat at speeds well over 164 miles per hour.
Jesus, how fast are his arms moving there?
To make all that work, at least 14,400 rotations per minute.
That's ducking awesome.
He is strong enough to rip apart a steamboat after all. But regardless of Scrooge's power, Shovel Knight had very little options to defend against the Duck's wackier, physics-breaking weaponry. Those that could buy him some time could only last for so long due to his
It is
limited
always
supply of
fun when
magic.
they have to
Plus,
scale
Scrooge's fought knights and
wacky
magicians before,
cartoon
while
feats.
Shovel Knight never fought anyone quite like Scrooge McDuck. Looks like Shovel Knight dug his own grave.
The winner is Scrooge McDuck.
Next time on Death Battle.
Venom.
Hey guys, I'm Chad of Blue Boomstick.
This is.
Done the best job with our merchandise recently. And we've
Oh my god, I don't care, 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 don't care, don't care, don't care. There we go. Venom versus Bane, which is...
And sometimes that inspiration creates
This
your worst
episode's
nightmare.
not great.
Venom, the ultimate antithesis to Spider-Man.
The analysis
Bane,
is good,
the
but
burly genius who broke
well,
the bet. He's Wiz and I'm
you'll see.
Boomstick.
It's...
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. The word symbiosis refers to two organisms living in beneficial harmony.
I mean, as I've said,
when two beings
nothing
bond
gets
over an
as,
obsessive,
like,
psychotic desire to kill
offensively
Spider-Man.
bad
Eddie Brock
as stuff
was
in
an
season
up-and-coming
1,
journalist on the brink of
but
national success,
I will say,
but life decided
the
to just
fight
shit all
animation
over
of
him.
this one
One
is
day, Eddie
kind of...
published an article incriminating a man he thought was a serial killer.
We'll
However,
get to that, we'll get to
very
that.
Same day, Spider-Man caught the real killer, publicly shaming Eddie. As a result, Eddie's company fired him, his father disowned him, and his wife left him. Also, he had cancer.
Damn, talk about a bad day. Understandably pretty upset about it.
Yikes.
Eddie blamed Spider-Man for
Oh yeah,
ruining his
yeah,
life.
nothing's
This
gonna
led to
get
his
as
fateful
bad
meeting
as,
with
like,
a weird black gooey
the stuff
alien.
in season
Remember
1.
Gag from the 90s? It's just like that, except alive and evil.
Also, Spider-Man
This was a
3,
symbiote
the
from
best
planet
film
Venus,
ever.
An alien species with one goal: to grow stronger by fusing with a living host. I know that sounds
I actually do get a
intimidating
lot
and
of
almost parasitic,
ironic
but the
enjoyment
Clintar
out of
people are
Spider-Man
naturally
3.
a
It's a
peaceful race.
fun movie.
However, they often inherit their host's traits and personality. This symbiote in particular had previously bonded with a violent alien bent on genocide and a costume superhero everybody knows as Deadpool.
That crazy lunatic? Oh, there's no way this symbiote is sane after that.
It wasn't. Afterward, it bonded with Spider-Man, who experienced this rage and lunacy firsthand. Horrified by this, Spider-Man eventually discarded the symbiote. Unaware the alien had determined Spidey was its ideal host and became obsessed with him.
Much like bar trash Cindy that sometimes you go home with but never really want to see her again. So what do you get when you combine an angry man and a black goo monster both hatefully obsessed with the same guy? Most just call him Venom.
Did you know? Eddie came up with the name Venom because he felt he was spewing venom from the tabloids he worked at.
Seriously? I give that origin a 3 out of 10.
Venom's
Thank God the
so
name's cool,
cool,
at least.
though.
And
I really
Venom's
do like
abilities
Venom.
are even cooler. He's insanely strong, ridiculously agile, and has a fast-paced healing factor.
Like the idea of
He
a
can
guy
power through
wearing a
bullets with no
shape-shifting
problem at all.
goo
Plus,
suit.
the symbiote carries some of the
It's
abilities
just-
of its
it's
previous
just
owners, including
rad.
Spidey. That means he can climb on walls and shoot webbing strong enough that Spidey himself can't break through.
Technically speaking, Venom simply reproduces the
Goot.
webbing effects via one of his more useful powers, shapeshifting.
I am
This
Groot.
symbiote can act as a liquid, allowing it to increase Venom's size for intimidation, or even mimic Eddie's everyday clothing for discretion.
Not to mention, Venom can morph into a wingsuit to glide through the air, isolate and purge toxins from its host's body, straight up turn invisible, or even just sprout spikes for simple stabbing weapons.
With these abilities seemingly limited only by his twisted imagination, Venom has tangled with many of his world's heavy hitters. He's defeated Spider-Man without having a host, resisted Ghost Rider's penance stare, and shaken off the Hulk's infamous thunderclap. That's right, he's even taken blows from the likes of the Juggernaut and the Hulk.
Powerful.
Even if Venom does get injured, the symbiote can rapidly heal its host. From broken bones, impalement through the chest, or even blasts from an anti-tank rocket. He's also
I can't
so
believe
speedy
I
that
can't
he can
believe
catch
Kim
up to
left.
bullets
Did
in
you not want
mid-flight.
to hear
But
about
if he doesn't
Venom
feel like it, he'll
versus
just
Bane?
Take the shot and spit it back with
The
deadly
greatest
force.
He's
episode
strong
ever.
enough to bust down metal doors with his fists, tear apart large military trucks, or throw cars several blocks away.
I mean, part of that's gotta be Brock. Have you seen how much that dude can lift?
Most impressively, Venom once held up a
She
giant
better be
carnival
playing the
ride
Great
similar
Ace
to a
Attorney
Ferris wheel,
Chronicles
even
for
after
Nintendo
getting struck by
Switch
one of
instead.
his worst weaknesses, a sound gun.
A sound gun? That's pretty lame. So, like, I could just beat him if I scream really loud?
With enough sound or literal firepower, yes, you could force the symbiote to expose the vulnerable host underneath. Though I should note that repeated exposure has helped Venom
Snowface
build up some
Chronicles.
tolerance. Also, while the symbiote is highly versatile, Venom is not exactly a strategist. Unsurprising given his apparent insanity.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
The symbiote also requires a diet containing the chemical phenethylamine.
Fenno, what? You like buy that at the store or?
No, it's found in certain fungi, chocolate, and brain matter, which the symbiote greatly hungers for.
Oh great, now it eats brains! God, this guy is literally a living nightmare.
Eddie, is that you?
There's no more Eddie and no more symbiote. Only Venom.
In his personal mission to drive crime from Gotham City, Batman has faced dozens of foes, each more vile and cunning than the last. But none challenged his sheer willpower more than the monstrous man called Bane.
Bane's life was screwed from the start. He was born into prison.
And then
made
there's
to carry
this
out
guy
his dead dad's
who's,
life sentence. Talk about carrying the sins
I
of your
mean,
father.
Bane's pretty cool.
Who puts a baby in jail? Couldn't it just like crawl through the bars? Did they make a baby jail? So many questions.
The child spent his dawning years in captivity, forced to fend for himself against a cruel and unforgiving world. Then one day, a fateful accident caused something to snap inside him.
I'm guessing his neck.
No, well, it should have. Instead, the boy slipped into a coma where he saw
The teddy
a vision
bear did
of
it.
his future self, a man standing above all other men.
Future self told him he would be second
my
to none,
God.
so long as he could conquer the power of fear, which is apparently shaped like a bat. Huh, would you look at that? What are the odds?
When the child awoke, he began his journey to conquer that fear through the power of bloody murder.
Hell yeah! That's also when the prison warden called him a bane to everything holy.
And that's why he's named Bane.
Ah, 2 out of 10. Anyway, it wasn't long before Bane caught wind of a certain bat ruling Gotham City by fear. But he got to work trying to become the ridiculously jacked guy he saw in his dream so he could take down Batman once
Look at the
and
big
for all.
evil Batman.
As he grew up, Bane entered
Bleh.
an intense daily workout regimen, not just of his body, but his mind as well. He educated himself in 10 languages, escapology, combat tactics, and several martial arts, including a few he created himself.
What a nerd.
Bane pretty much became a legend across the prison, so to remind everybody who was in charge, the warden decided to make an example of him.
See, this place wasn't just a prison. The army of Santa Prisca was conducting tests on human subjects with an experimental formula called Venom.
Because super soldier formulas are
Would you
all
believe
the
me if I
rage.
said that's the
procedure
entire
had
reason why this
killed
episode
every
was
previous
greenlit?
test subject,
Because
but
Bane
proved hardier
uses
than expected.
Venom, and the
after
other
he
guy
had
is
a
called
taste,
Venom.
Bane wanted venom for himself.
So that's
he
why
faked
they
his own
made
death,
this
punched a
episode.
few sharks to death and liberated the whole prison single-handed.
It's very
the inmates
stupid.
joined his cause, and he took his new super soldier serum to Gotham City.
Using a special apparatus on his wrist, Bane can administer a dosage of venom directly into his brain at will. Doing so dramatically increases his muscle mass, turning him into one of Gotham City's most ferocious physical threats. He's destroyed the Batmobile with his bare hands, jumped off skyscrapers without injury, and lifted loaded armored trucks which weigh tens of thousands of pounds. And then there's the feat he's most famous for, breaking the back of Batman. But Bane didn't just break bone, he literally put poor Batman into a coma.
Oh,
Well,
jeez.
years later, Batman did get his revenge. After swapping powers with Superman, he paid Bane a visit and broke his everything.
And somehow this didn't kill him.
He's one tough son of a bitch,
What the
and
hell?
if he needs it, Bane can crank up his flow of venom for more strength and faster healing. But when he first tried this, it came at a cost.
Turns out an overdose of venom can temporarily deteriorate one's mind, turning Bane into a mindless, muscle-bound beast.
And it's also surprisingly addictive, so eventually Bane swore off the stuff for some time.
But this only let Bane prove that he is just as dangerous even without the performance-enhancing drug. He's been pelted by dozens of bricks at once and taken countless stabbings and bullets without even reacting. He once cauterized his own wound with a blowtorch and even got thrown
is
hundreds of
metal
yards
as
by
hell.
a Woman and got right back up ready to fight.
Still off the juice, Bane is strong enough to tear down a stone prison wall, casually rip off an armored guy's limbs, and take out dozens of members of the League of Assassins, solo. But if he really needs to, he can always fall off the wagon and get back on the Venom.
Bane's absurd power is matched only by his intelligent mind. He possesses a photographic memory, rivals Ra's al Ghul in chess, and deduced the identity of Batman in 1 year when nobody else could figure it out.
Yeah, Bane's pretty
Dang.
ridiculous, but it's no secret that he's at his best when he's got that venom juice pumping through his veins. Luckily for him, he eventually developed a form of venom that didn't turn his brain into mush, and he then soon got addicted to that stuff all over again.
Ah, good job.
Still, Bane has proven
Don't
over
do
and
drugs,
over again
kids.
that with or without Venom, anyone who crosses him will beg for mercy and receive none.
When we fought before, I broke the bat. Today, I break the man.
Oh, Batman, it's me,
All right, the commands are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But all this strength
I'm a
talk
big
is reminding me
guy
I gotta
for
bulk
you.
up, and the best way to do it is with a delicious home-cooked meal.
I don't care about Blue Apron.
We
Shut
should love
up.
how-
Anyway, on to the fight. I hope you don't like seeing things.
Step aside, niños.
That's like the gif they show of like soda when they're advertising food at the movies.
It's bad. No, it's something else.
You tell him, Meta Knight.
You're mine. But yummy. Oh, your blood's spicy. Delicious. Big Daddy can punch.
What you mean? What do you mean by that, Venom? What are you calling him Big Daddy for?
So, you fall back on cheap magic tricks, trying to
Magic
disappear.
tricks.
Yet you don't know how to be truly invisible. Now, I give you permission to die. You're just like all the others. Broken. Unbreakable.
Big Daddy from BioShock. I don't know.
What's happening? Now, for what we came for! Up goes the weasel!
So, that fight
That can't
animation
taste
gets
good.
a lot of
Both fighters
criticism.
were intense
I feel
physical
rightly
threats,
so.
only one one wielded the
for
superior
like
Venom.
just having
Venom had
a
many
bunch of
advantages over Bane. Speed,
like
durability,
weird shaking and
versatility,
blurring
even
of the
strength.
camera,
Bane's
making
peak
it hard
strength
to
was at
follow,
most just enough
and
to lift a
having
27-ton car. Meanwhile,
a character
Venom was
who
strong
is
enough to stop
basically
a falling
all
carnival
black,
ride and
fighting
hold
in
it up by
a
himself, even
dark
while in a weakened
environment,
state.
making it
Comparing
generally
to similar
hard to
carnival
see.
rides, my very conservative estimate
And would you
place
believe
this
me
thing
if I
weighing
said that the
around 200 tons.
original
Way more impressive than anything
fight
Bane ever
animation
lifted.
is
Of
like
course, Bane
2
was
minutes
smarter.
longer?
However, even if he had deduced Venom's key weaknesses to fire and
You
sound,
can find
he
the
wasn't really
original
equipped to
like
take advantage of
extended
them.
fight
As
on
for speed, Venom could
roosterteeth.com,
catch bullets.
and it's
Even
very
better, he could
long
catch
and
up to
boring,
bullets
and
in
it
midair.
makes the
He had to
episode
move
so
over
much
1,500
worse
miles
for it.
per hour to do that.
Ironically enough,
Also, like,
almost twice
did
the
anyone
speed of
think
sound.
that
Surprisingly,
guy who
their
is
durability levels
really
were
strong
pretty even.
was gonna
Both them
beat
taking
fucking
hits from
Venom?
Superman-level beings and live to fight another day.
The big difference being Venom's healing factor was far
'Cause you
superior.
mean, like-
he could fight on par with
Yeah.
Juggernaut, who can make 4.8 magnitude earthquakes with his bare hands.
But it's not like Batman ever needed super strength to knock Bane out cold.
In time, Venom's superior strength, speed, durability, and versatility.
The
simply
kill was awesome
overwhelmed
though.
Bane.
I like
Looks like Venom,
Venom
was the real
exploding
Bane of this
Bane's
fight.
head.
The winner is
That's
Venom.
metal as hell.
Hey, stick around to find out who's coming up next on Death Battle.
Oh yeah, this is
And
where
if
they
you wanna see
started
behind-the-scenes commentary on the
not
episode,
doing
then
the
click
next
that box
time
and start a 30-day
immediately.
free first membership trial. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
But next time is whoops, that's not the one because it goes backwards. It's Power Rangers
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mr.
versus
J.
Voltron.
Now click Bill.
Not the new weird Voltron where they cared more about shipping the characters than the
Finally
giant
time for
robot.
one of the biggest matchups in Death Battle history.
Yeah, the giant robot fight of all giant robot
This was,
fights.
I think,
The
originally going to be
Megazord,
the season
heavy-hitting mech
3
commanded by
finale,
5 Power Rangers.
but it got delayed so
And
they could spend more
Voltron,
time on the
defender of
animation.
the universe, piloted
Um,
by 5 paladins.
For this
and-
matchup, there will be no Dragon Zords,
yeah,
no
so they
Galaxy
saved it
Garrisons,
for
no
the
Robot
75th
Brachiosaurus,
episode.
and no mice.
Just
as,
a
like,
good
kind
old
of a-
5v5
they're
war
that
of the
special.
giant robots. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who will
But yeah,
win
giant combining
a death
robots. It's
battle.
cool.
Since the dawn of time, good has battled the forces of evil. The vicious witch Rita Repulsa and her giant
Everyone likes a
monsters
giant
waged
robot
war
fight.
with
It's
the
true.
good-natured galactic sage Zordon.
Their 2,000-year war finally ended when Rita zapped him into a time warp. But not before Zordon managed to lock her up in a space dumpster?
Yes, apparently that thing is a space dumpster, or to put more accurately, a galactic recycling bin.
I love
However,
Power
Zordon
Rangers.
knew
It's
it
so
was only a
stupid.
matter of time before Rita escaped to conquer Earth once more.
Good thing Zordon had thousands of years to come up with a foolproof plan. He could summon the 5 greatest warriors from around the galaxy to defend the planet. Or...
Teleport to us 5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No, not that, not teenagers.
That plan is asinine, but somehow it worked. Zordon granted 5 teenagers the ability to draw power from a dimension called the Morphin Grid. This molecular transmutation turns them into superhumans with access to mighty mechanical beasts called Zords, becoming the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, this part got muted? No! Oh, it's so cool. Anyway, it's them saying all their things, and the Power Rangers theme song playing. Go, go, Power Rangers. Did this whole part get muted because of the Power Rangers theme song? Hold on. Alright, I'm sorry. No. This isn't right. Give me a moment here. We're watching this on the Rooster Teeth website, cause there is. I'm sorry. It's just not right. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. We are in season 4. Getting some spoilers there for some future stuff.
First, there's Jason Lee Scott,
There
the
we go.
Red Ranger. He's a fearless leader, expert martial artist, and owns one of the
It's a
coolest
bit
swords of
laggy.
the
Maybe we'll
bunch,
switch
the
back to YouTube
Tyrannosaurus
for the
Rex.
actual fight.
Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger.
It also
is the
sounds a bit
genius of the
quieter,
group.
so let me know
He
if the
loves to work
volume's
with
good.
machines, especially his impressive
Oh my god, it is
Triceratops sword.
quieter.
With its grappling hook horns, this 140-ton behemoth can stop a foe in its tracks.
Trini Kwan, the Yellow Ranger, is equal parts brains and martial arts specialist. She's a threat both outside and inside her speedy
We'll
saber-toothed
we'll
tiger
switch
sword.
back after the
Kimberly
Power
Ann
Ranger
Hart, the
rundown,
Pink
so it's
Ranger,
louder.
is a smack-talking valley girl who has the skies covered in her pterodactyl Zord, which can fly at 2.5 times the speed of sound.
Last but not least, there's Zack Taylor, the Black Ranger, who's mastered his own fighting style called hip-hop keto.
Alright, so this is like... This has gotta be
This
racist,
guy
right?
fights aliens with the power of dance,
They made
along with his
the
mastodon sword.
black
Almost
guy
all this
fight
can
with
freeze
like
blast enemies with ice,
hip hop
or
dancing, and they made
saran
him
wrap
the
if we're
Black
short on
Ranger.
budget.
Like,
But when 5
Come on.
giant mechanical beasts
Right?
aren't enough to keep the villains down, these machines join together to...
For just the coolest friggin' thing you've ever seen in your life.
hell yeah, this is the way it's meant to be. All the classic music.
This is the Megazord, a 333-foot colossus with enough power to effortlessly tear down buildings, sometimes unintentionally. All 5 Rangers pilot the Megazord as one, combining their own martial arts skills to defeat giant monsters.
It's like a giant rock'em sock'em robot with laser beams. He can fry enemies with its cranial laser, blast fireballs from its hands, shoot immobilizing beams from its eyes, and even use the mastodon's face as a shield. And when it's time to send someone to an early grave, they summon their Blade Ex Machina, the Power Sword.
Little known fact, simply touching the Power Sword can recharge the Megazord if it's low on power.
It's not just a battery. This giant sword is over 100 feet long and orbits the Earth when not in use. Plus, it can launch energy waves and cut down almost any monster with just one swing.
And there's even more. It's a surprisingly versatile weapon, like with this feature they implemented against the Nasty Knights.
Any energy we throw at him, he just reflects back at us. That's why our weapons are burned out.
So what do we do about it?
Reflect his energy back at him, along with a bit of our own.
I don't get it.
Apparently, the Power Sword can absorb oncoming kinetic energy and turn it against the attacker,
Even against the Master
drastically
Sword
increasing the
from
Megazord's
Zelda.
striking power.
Well, after pummeling monsters every weekday afternoon, the Power Rangers have been through almost everything. From fighting a world-destroying dragon to a giant walking pumpkin who raps.
Ooh, you Rangers make me mad! Waking me up with a rap that bad!
They've even fought Kimberly's purse.
Man, these villains were getting desperate. And so were the writers.
Anyway, the Megazord is strong enough to lift and throw the 170-ton Dragon Zord into a mountain with little effort.
So long, Gay Bowser!
Even the individual
I like that
Zords
joke.
can support the weight of whole monsters
So
on their
long,
own.
Gay Bowser.
While many of these monsters should weigh similar to the Megazord, some certainly weigh even more. In fact, in a general scale, when you double the size of an object, its weight increases by a factor
Like
of
the
8.
traffic
Comparing
light
these
turtle
organic
thing.
monsters to human beings
Power
means
Rangers
some
is
of them
so
could
weird.
weigh as much as 10,000 tons.
And the Megazord even gut-punched one of them over 100 feet into the air.
Assuming that monster is 10,000 tons, lifting it 133 feet would require about 90 million newtons of force. 50 times as much force as a space shuttle's launching thrust.
That kind of strength, I bet you could backhand a person into outer space.
That's oddly specific.
Strange, wasn't it? Regardless, they've used that strength to take down countless monsters capable of wiping out all life on Earth. They even went toe-to-toe with Cyclopsis, a Warzord designed to conquer entire worlds.
But even for the Power Rangers, defending the Earth is no small job. When they least expect it, the Megazord's energy supply can be quickly exhausted in the middle of combat.
And it doesn't help that half the reason is because they just get hit so damn much. Despite the Megazord's awesome power, it's really lacking in the whole maneuverability department. I mean, come on! It can at least try to avoid an attack.
That's what happens
But
when
when
you're
the
a
enemy hits
guy wearing a
hard,
big
the Power
boxy
Rangers hit
suit.
back even harder. With the fate of the world lying in their hands, no one can ever take them down. Bring him down!
All right, and now we will switch back to YouTube. So the volume should be a lot better now. Oh yeah, that's much better.
From days of long ago, from
Much
uncharted
better.
regions of the universe comes a legend.
Anyway,
In less cryptic
Voltron.
terms, 1,200 years ago, the evil Drool Empire nearly conquered the entire known universe. But
And this
not
is another
everybody was
case,
cool with
like
fleets of
Power
ships
Rangers,
shooting
where
up their
it's
planets, so
a
team of
Japanese
scientists and
property
magic
being
priests decided to fight back.
taken
Through
and
the marriage
sort of
magic and technology,
changed
they forged a
for
300-foot
American
tall living
audiences.
automaton, so powerful that it single-handedly pushed back the Empire's onslaught. Before long, the whole universe had heard of the mechanical knight known as Voltron.
Pissed that he was losing everything because of some space robot, the Empire's King Zarkon ordered a space witch to kill Voltron with a magic space spell. And it kinda worked. Instead of being destroyed, Voltron was split up into 5 very merchandisable robot lions.
Divided and stripped of its sentience, the universe's best hope had fallen.
Until 5 space explorers
It is
crash-landed
kind of
on Eris,
Exodia.
the exact same planet the lions just so happen to be hiding on. Destiny or some crap led them to the castle where the Princess Allura gave them a life-changing opportunity. Pilot the long-lost lions and go around saving the universe for a living.
Keith Cogain is the head of the Lion Force in more ways than one.
Keith Cogain.
As leader of the team, he commands his cohorts, and he pilots the Black Lion, the literal head of Voltron.
Burt
Lance
Cocaine.
McClane
Burt
is the Han
Cocaine.
Solo of the group. This hot-headed show-off controls the Red Lion, which forms Voltron's right arm.
Tsuyoshi Garrett, better known as Hunk, is the muscle of the team. He pilots the Yellow Lion, which forms Voltron's left leg.
The Blue Lion is piloted by Sven Holgersson. No, he did. The Blue Lion is piloted by Princess Allura herself, taking over after
guess I
the
should
original
put
pilot
spoilers
got a bad
for,
case of
like,
stabbing. Her lion forms Voltron's
1970s
right
Voltron.
leg.
Last up is
On the screen
Daryl
as well.
Stoker. You can call him Pidge. Pidge pilots the Green Lion,
Trained in
Voltron's
techno
left arm.
And
ninjutsu.
he's also, well, a little unhinged.
Pitch! Get rid of that grenade!
At least his outfit matches his lion's colors. I mean, damn, it's not that hard, people.
And when all 5 lions combine, Voltron lives again.
Activate Mega Thrusters.
Voltron!
Feet and legs form arms and body, and I'll form the head.
You ever think about how the pilots stay in the heads of the lions when they're fighting? That has to be, like, ridiculously nauseating.
Oh, undoubtedly. That's probably why they usually travel by flight and prefer long-range combat over hand-to-hand.
Speaking of which, Voltron got busy fighting Zarkon's giant roe beasts and saving the universe with a huge assortment of weapons. Voltron can shoot stingray missiles and even pillars of flame out of its hands and feet, or blast the lion heads off like rockets. It can stun enemies with ion dart lasers from its head,
Yeah.
or use the Electro Force cross attack from its chest.
It's a
On Keith's
very
command,
obvious
the Lion Force
matchup.
can manifest Voltron's most powerful weapons out of thin air. Everything from spinning laser blades to javelins to nunchucks.
But the real showstopper is the almighty Blazing Sword.
I love Fire
Form
Emblem.
Blazing Sword.
With this blade, Voltron can slice through most Robies like Jello and dish out the Starfire attack, which splits Robies apart and also makes a friggin' tornado for good measure.
The Blazing Sword can also conduct electricity to recharge Voltron itself.
Why are all these swords also batteries?
The Blazing Sword is enormously powerful, capable of destroying a satellite hundreds of times larger than Voltron. Voltron himself is powerful enough to melt meteors, kick giant machines sky high, and take explosions
Look
the
at
size
that
of countries.
wonky
The
animation.
Voltron Lions have even traveled between galaxies in less than a day, making them several times faster than the speed of light.
Voltron has also survived landing on the Omega Comet, which is so dense it possesses the gravitational force of a black hole.
Okay, that all sounds insane, but even giant robot man lions have their limits, like getting ganged up on by multiple roe beasts at once, or getting stabbed and sliced open. But black hole levels of gravity? That's a cakewalk, right?
Voltron may be strong, but it lacks the finesse and skill of one trained in martial arts. Voltron also carries a shocking design flaw. If the release plates on its joints are struck in combat, it could jettison an entire limb from the core body.
Wait. You're telling me that if I kick Voltron, freaking Voltron, in the shins hard enough, he'll just lose a leg and it'll just pop right off?
Essentially, yes, though it has only happened in training. Even so, whether the Lion Force is up against a technical issue or a colossal
Voltron
robeast,
Pog,
the
Voltron
universe can
Pog.
always depend on Voltron.
I also love all the crusty old
All right, the
television
combatants
footage
are
they
set.
use.
Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all this talk of robots is making me hungry. So let's fix that.
Let's not.
Cooking ants. That's Blue
Battle!
Anyway, so for this episode,
Scanners on, T.
they got a couple of guests to do the voice acting. So I want you to see if you recognize some of these.
Seems the prehistoric activity originates here.
Finally! If I don't see a dinosaur today, I'm blaming you.
Quiet, Les. I'm picking up something.
Power Rangers!
Hello! We need dinosaur power now!
Huh? What's happening?
I think I found the dinosaurs.
All right, Rangers, plug off!
Zach here. This is Kickin'.
This is Billy. All systems go.
Trini reporting, ready to rock. I love this part. Let's tame these kids.
For Voltron! For feet and legs. Arm, and body. And I'll form the head.
Megazord battle mode! Voltron!
5'11" versus 6 foot. Yeah. The biggest flaw of this fight
Spinning laser blades.
is that the human models are a bit awkward.
We need the power sword now!
Stay down!
Let's show them how it's done!
I hope the bitrate's doing okay.
The sword!
Seriously. For blazing sword.
Yeah, a lot of production value in this one.
Isn't this usually the part where we win?
cool.
Jason, look! He's wide open!
Pitch! No! All right, guys, let's finish this!
We need to move! Get away!
Pitch! The sword!
Give him covering fire!
With what?
Everything!
Quick! Redirect the energy!
It's too much!
Yeah, that fight rules.
Now that's what I call a battle.
So
There's
good.
a good reason why Voltron is the
Also,
defender
if you
of the
didn't
universe.
catch,
While the Megazord boasted
if you didn't
excellent
catch some of
abilities
the
in hand-to-hand and
special
swift
guest
combat,
voice
Voltron
actors,
couldn't go down
that
so
was
easily.
I think
Voltron's huge
Space
arsenal
Hamster
put it
is
ahead,
the Blue
especially in
Ranger.
long range. Even when
Peanut
the
Butter
Megazord could
Gamer
get in close,
is
it couldn't keep up with
Lance
Voltron's
of
blazing
Voltron.
speed. I mean, Voltron
And
travels between
Matt
galaxies in a
Pat
matter of hours.
is
Getting it
Keith,
flying.
The Megazord
the
once punched a
red
monster weighing at most
Voltron
10,000
guy.
tons, 133 feet into the air. In contrast,
Yeah.
Voltron kicked a 3,900-ton mutated bulldozer nearly 1,900 feet up. Despite
Well, let me
Voltron's
see if I
monster
can-
weighing less than the
let me
Megazords,
rewind,
this is
see if you
still
can
a
get
more
it.
impressive feat. Comparing
It's like, yeah,
Scanners on, team. Seems the prehistoric activity originates here.
it's Matt Pat. It's Matt Pat. And then
Finally! If I don't see a dinosaur today, I'm blaming you.
it's PBG. See?
couldn't go down so easily.
Voltron's huge arsenal put it ahead, especially in long range. Even when the Megazord could get in close, it couldn't.
And that's
keep
why
up with
Matt Pat was
Voltron's
in the
blazing
stream
speed.
announcement tweet
I mean,
today.
Voltron travels between galaxies.
See,
in a
I told you
matter
the
of
pic
hours,
was
getting
related.
it flying.
The Megazord once punched a monster weighing at most 10,000 tons, 133 feet into the air. In contrast, Voltron kicked a 3,900-ton mutated bulldozer nearly 1,900 feet up. Despite Voltron's monster weighing less than the Megazord's, this is still a more impressive feat. Comparing
My
weight
favorite
and
hidden
distance
block
traveled
member.
for both feats, Voltron's requires
Yeah.
at least 5.5 times more strength.
Plus, Voltron clearly had the superior durability.
They had some other
especially
ones
with that black
too,
hole
but
comet
those are the
feat.
ones
The
I'm
Omega
like
Comet's pole could
most
destroy entire
familiar with. I
planets
think
within
like
62
all
miles of
like
itself,
10
which
of
means
the
the comet could
characters
output
were
forces of over
like
13
guest
sextillion
voices.
newtons.
The Megazord couldn't survive anything close to that level of power. We can prove it. Later in Power Rangers history, they upgraded their mech to the Thunder Megazord, which is specifically stated to be more powerful than the original Megazord in every way.
The new Zords will serve you well.
Once mastered, your Zords will reveal even
No,
greater
he's
power.
not in this
When
one.
this new Megazord
He
fought
was in
against
the
a
other
giant
Power
Zord called
Rangers one,
Serpentera,
but no,
which at
not
full
in
power
this.
could destroy planets, a single blast
Hold
from
on,
it
maybe
easily
I
tore
think they show the
Thunder
credit,
Megazord apart,
the
and that
the
blast
voice
didn't even
credits
use half of
at the
Serpentera's
end.
power.
Voltron outclassed
So
the
we
Megazord
can,
in almost every way that counted,
we can
including
check
strength,
those.
speed, and durability. Trust me, I'm not lying.
The winner is Voltron. Don't go away, we're about to reveal who's fighting in the next episode.
And if you want to see behind
Let's see.
the scenes,
Can I get rid of this? But yeah, Jeff Fabre, that's Space Hamster.
commentary on.
Oh, that was it's Kaiser Neko as Pidge, and yeah, PBG is Lance.
On this episode,
Lenny Pator is Hunk.
they just
I think that's Black Nerd Gaming as Zach.
click that.
And there, hold on, there it was. Matthew Patrick, Matt Pat. How's PBG doing? He doesn't really do video game stuff anymore, I don't think. Well, he does some stuff. I haven't watched him in a while, but he does like just random like things.
box and
Now
start a
he's
30-day
just,
free
yeah, it's
trial
just
for a
peanut
first
butter
membership.
guy.
Thanks, guys.
Good thing the acronym still works. Oh yeah, and here's where the spoilers come in, because it's, Natsu Dragneel versus Portgas D. Ace. This episode's pretty cool. Because this one has spoilers for One Piece and also apparently spoilers for Fairy Tail. Although I'm not too familiar with Fairy Tail, but apparently stuff in this is spoilers. Although I don't think there's anything that's going to ruin the experience for you.
But these two combatants have mastered
The One Piece stuff is kind of spoilery. If you know about Ace, it's the spoiler involving Ace.
The
So
pirate known as Fire
yeah.
Fist.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Did this part get muted too? You're kidding. Oh my, so many of their, a lot more of this is muted than I remember. I guess that's why they switched to not doing copyrighted music anymore. Huh. What's this whole thing gonna be?
Between life? Almost. Fortunately, not.
Nope, hold on. It's just talking about, okay, Natsu grew up and then
The end.
His village was annihilated by a dragon.
Natsu's older brother Zareth survived. Horrified by the violent fate of his family.
Hey, now that,
Zareth
come on, now
desperately sought a way
that's
to revive
spoilers.
Natsu. Eventually, he discovered the connections between life, death, and magic, and became obsessed.
And so he became the most evil and powerful mage ever, cursed to live forever and ruin everyone's lives. But everything worked out, I guess, because he brought Natsu back. Just one catch, Natsu had to be revived as a demon, though this gave him the potential to become even more powerful than Zareth.
Unfortunately, Zareth had become incredibly dangerous to be around. Fearing for his brother's safety, he left Natsu in the care of his friend Igneal, who just so happened to be the Fire Dragon King.
Natsu got adopted by a freaking dragon. Kinda weird since the dragon killed him in the first place and his family.
An alias
whatever.
and
Dragon Dad
Imperious
ended up
Natsu
teaching little
Dragneel.
Natsu
Oh,
dragon
that's a
slayer
stretch.
magic, a school of mystical martial arts developed specifically to kill dragons. Wait, man, it's really back and forth with these dragons, isn't it?
Regardless, Igneal eagerly accepted his role as adoptive father.
Was that
He taught
Zekrom
Natsu how
and
to read,
Reshiram?
write, and fight. But then when Natsu came of age, Igneal suddenly sent him through a time machine and poof! Before he knew it, Natsu was trapped 400 years in the future and abandoned by the only father figure he ever really knew.
I know that feel, little buddy. I know that feel.
Of course, it was all part of Igneal's plan to save the world, but at the time,
Damn.
Natsu didn't know that. Fortunately, it wasn't long before he found a new home and family
I've
among
always
the
wanted
mercenaries
to
of the Fairy
get
Tail
into
Guild.
Fairy Tail.
Yeah,
I
turns
like
out
some of
being a
its
demon
aesthetic,
trained by a goddamn dragon
but I've
made
also
Natsu
heard
pretty
it's
effective as a bounty hunter.
like
Natsu possesses
basically just like
superhuman speed, impressive
not
strength,
great.
and unbelievable durability. He has superior senses such
Like
as
it's just
sight and
like
smell,
Naruto,
along with
but
a mastery of hand-to-hand combat
bad.
skills.
Mix all that up with his fire dragon slayer
I'm
magic,
sure it's
and
got
you
its own
got
merits,
one
but,
fiery
yeah.
cocktail that'll knock just about anybody on their ass.
As the name suggests, Fire Dragon Slayer magic revolves around conjuring and manipulating fire. A prime example would be Natsu's signature move, the Fire Dragon's Roar.
Where he literally shoots fire from his mouth.
Or he can engulf his hand in flames for the devastating Fire Dragon's Iron Fist.
You know, we're gonna be
Pretty
saying fire a
good
lot
guy.
this episode.
Yep. Natsu has well over
PBG,
2
we
dozen
still
different ways
on
to
about
incorporate fire
PBG?
into his martial arts,
Did you
but
take a
his
break to
real
go watch some
strength comes from a
PBG
move
content?
Nobody ever really expects.
Yeah. He eats fire.
Like all mages in the fairy tale world, Natsu has a limited pool of magic, but consuming fire actually replenishes it. Not only that, he can consume a few
Understandable.
different types of elemental magic as well.
I miss when he
including
did like Zelda
Talk about a
and stuff.
shocking appetite.
That was cool.
And because this is anime, eating lightning gives Natsu access to an all-new form, Lightning Fire Dragon. With this, Natsu's abilities are enhanced with electricity, giving him a brand new element
Prettier,
of power.
better, gooder.
To increase his fire abilities, Natsu can enter Dragon Force. This greatly increases his Dragon Slayer magic and physical prowess, bringing Natsu closer to the strength of a full-grown dragon.
He's even starting to look like a dragon now. You think that's like an awful traumatic reminder when he looks at himself?
But when his
But yeah,
Dragon
Natsu
Slayer
can do
abilities aren't
fire
enough,
things.
Natsu enters his strongest mode
Ooh.
yet, Fire Dragon King mode. In this form, Natsu has access to techniques only the most powerful of dragons could wield, such as the Demolition Fist and the Fire Dragon King's Roar.
At his strongest, he could wipe out exactly 973 soldiers all at once and create massive explosions so big they could wipe out a whole town.
Natsu's raw power is extraordinary, both magically and physically. He's strong enough to lift an enormous stone slab several times larger than himself. Comparing this stone to Natsu's height and compensating for the density of the stone, it's likely this block weighs about 135 tons.
Talk about never skipping arm day. He's also fast. He's fought in multiple battles where he's moved faster than the eye can see, putting him well over 9,000 miles per hour.
And when fighting opponents even faster than him, Natsu has used his keen observational skills and indomitable willpower to predict their moves and defeat them. He's pretty clever in battle, which is surprising given how headstrong and stubborn he can be.
Like any real fighter, Natsu prioritizes offense over defense, running in guns or, I guess, arms blazing.
Except this impulsive approach to fighting often leaves massive amounts of collateral damage in his wake. Remember how we mentioned his firepower could wipe out a whole town? Well, sometimes that's not completely intentional. In fact, this hasty attitude may be his greatest weakness.
Nah, his greatest weakness is how easily he gets motion sick. Put him on a moving car or boat and he'll be hurling in a matter of seconds. That flying cat following him around should start carrying vomit bags.
Yeah, that's one of the stranger downsides of Dragon Slayer magic. Natsu's dragon-like senses can overload his semicircular canals, creating a feeling similar to vertigo. But more importantly, Natsu has a bad habit of burning through his available magic.
I like characters with fun
but
weaknesses
who cares?
like
He
that.
can just chow down on some tasty flames or lightning to replenish his magic.
Just one problem. Consuming any fire or lightning that Natsu has created himself will not replenish his reserves.
Huh. Oh well, Natsu's still a badass. He really is the Fairy Tale Guild's trump
Again,
card
Fairy
for
Tale
whenever
looks
things go
cool,
south. And he continues
but I've
to
also
fulfill
heard
his
it's
old Dragon
not
Dad's wish of making the
great,
world a
so,
safer place by setting it on fire.
Apologies to any Fairy Tale fans who may be listening.
Let's get down to the real fight. I'm gonna shatter you into a million pieces.
Wealth, fame, power. Gold D. Roger, the king of the pirates,
The
obtained
One
this and everything else
Piece.
the world
The
had to
One
offer.
Piece is
And then he was
real.
brutally executed, leaving everyone to run
One
off
Piece, on the
searching
other
for
hand,
the
I have
king's
heard is
long-lost
very,
treasure,
very good.
The One Piece.
However, unknown to most, Roger left behind an heir, albeit unborn. Terrified the Marines would execute Roger's son as well, the child's mother held her pregnancy for a total of 20 months. 20 months!
Holy mother of hell!
Fairy Tale fire.
Sheer inconceivable willpower. Though she died in childbirth, her last act was to give her newborn son his name, Portgas D. Ace.
Soon after, Ace was adopted by an old acquaintance of his father, Monkey D. Garp, and raised alongside Monkey D. Luffy and his childhood friend Sabo.
Over time, Ace, Luffy, and Sabo grew very close, considering themselves brothers and together forging a lifelong pact. They would forever live life as free as possible.
And for Ace, that meant following in his father's footsteps. It was the pirate's life for him.
Ace was a natural on the sea, thanks to his incredible strength and combat aptitude. He quickly learned his way around the ocean, becoming the captain of his own ship in just a year's time,
The
and eventually
Spade
joining the ranks of
Pirates.
the deadliest pirates around.
Kind
He
of an
even claimed
unfortunate
one of
name.
the world's most sought-after treasures, a devil fruit.
In the One Piece world, if you eat yourself a devil fruit, you get yourself a superpower. In Ace's case, he ate the Flame fruit, which, guess what? Granted him the power to create and control fire. But with new power comes a buttload of badass new ways to kill people. Get this guy's gun hands are actually handguns.
I mean, I guess that's accurate. That would be Ace's fire gun ability, and it's just one of many attacks the Flame Fruit's power provides.
Man, I love my gun leg and all, but now I think I really need me some gun hands to
I think
go
this is
along
the
with it.
first mention of Boomstick
Sometimes
having
I
a
really,
gun leg.
really wonder about where you came from.
The front door, like every
That's
day. Come
canon,
on,
and that will
Wiz,
be
pay
brought up
attention.
multiple times. Boomstick has a
Anyway,
shotgun
these fire
for a
abilities
leg.
are what earned him the nickname Fire Fist Ace.
The fire
Because he can turn
fruit?
his
Yeah,
punches
it's
into
One
blazing
Piece.
balls
All
of
the
red
fruits
hot
have names
fire.
like that.
Forget gun hands. Give me some of that.
Manipulating fire comes easy to Ace. He can conjure up enormous pillars of flame so intensely heated they can incinerate enemy projectiles, acting as a sort of fire shield.
He's also got some really weird names for his attacks, like Firefly, Fiery Doll,
Ban
and Saint
Garden,
Elmo's
shut up.
Fire. Man, when did Elmo become a saint?
No. Actually, that's referencing weather phenomena where plasma appears to discharge atop a pointed object. Ace's version is not like that at all. Instead, he conjures up 2 javelins made of pure fire and hurtles them through enemies, burning them inside and out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with his version.
Firefly and Fiery Doll is a combination attack, where he creates several small balls of green plasma which surround a foe before detonating in a massive series of explosions.
He does have one attack with a really cool name, though.
Oh, what's that?
Crossfire, you'll get caught up in the crossfire, crossfire!
Of course. However, Ace's most powerful attack is undoubtedly his Great Flame Commandment, Flame Emperor.
Which is a pretty big name for what is essentially a fiery spirit bomb. But good God, if you see that thing coming your way,
fireball.
don't even bother trying to run. You dead.
There's even more. See, the devil fruit Ace discovered was of a rare breed, a Logia fruit. Because of this, Ace also gained the ability to transform his entire body into fire.
When he's in flame on mode, physical attacks pass right through him like he isn't even there. And if his fire body is somehow messed up, like someone dropping a giant
I guess.
snuffer on him, his
Sure,
true
he's
human
like,
body would be
he could do
totally
basically
unaffected.
anything with fire.
Actually,
That's
since
Ace's whole
receiving
deal.
This power, Ace has only been badly hurt by other Logia users wielding an element with an inherent advantage over fire, such as magma or water.
Man, it's like he's invincible.
In a way, but it's not an automatic defense. Ace must make the conscious decision to transform his body.
But thanks to his blindingly quick reflexes, he's able to avoid almost any attack. He can even react quick enough to avoid a shot from a sniper.
In this
Porcus
instance, he was reacting
Diaz.
to the gunman in view. Assuming this gunman was professionally trained, Ace would have needed to react in about a quarter of a second.
But who needs speed when your fire fist can blow apart 5 ships all at once?
Considering ships like these would likely be constructed of teak wood, to accomplish this, Ace would need to hit each ship with at least 15,000 pounds of force per square inch.
So getting hit by Ace would be like getting hit with a wrecking ball. And when he throws more fire into the mix, he can wipe out an entire town.
Ace's last extraordinary quality actually has little to do with fire at all. If there's anything he inherited from his mother, it's his insane willpower and endurance.
He once fought a karate fishman for 5 straight days. Man, with that endurance, he's gonna make some lucky lad or lady real happy someday. Or I guess he would
Bisexual
have if
Ace
he didn't.
Pog.
Oh, hey, heads up. Huge
Spoilers, by the
spoiler
way.
warning in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, he's dead. Like, totally dead.
Like many Logia users, Ace grew cocky in his ability to avoid being hit. In fact, he practically forgot what pain even felt like. And so, despite all of Ace's fantastic feats, his most
I mean,
impressive was when,
this scene
for once,
is
he chose to take a
pretty
hit,
famous
sacrificing
at this
himself to
point.
save his brother Luffy.
Is Ace
Damn.
taking the punch
Do that for me,
Luffy?
Wiz.
Oh, sure, of course.
You're a goddamn liar.
I can't allow that. I'll take care of this on my own.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all this talk of chowing down on some scrumptious flames is making me hungry.
Shut up.
Using your own words.
My favorite part of Death Battle is the Blue Apron ads.
Hey, you, thief, come back here.
Hey, you thief, come back here. Sorry, Joey Wheeler. Not today.
Give that back, or you'll have to deal with me.
Nah.
That's it. I'm
He
gonna
ate the
mess
bone.
you up.
Fire!
Fire Dragon Swordhorn! Wait, are you seriously made of fire?
Sun flare! Time to turn up the heat! Fire Dragon King's Roar!
It's perfect.
Fire Dragon King's Demolition Fist!
Any time where they could use like silhouettes for cool stuff is just really good.
Not bad, hotshot. But you can't even touch me.
Firefly!
Oh no.
Hey, oh hey! Welcome. Hey Kirby. We're watching Natsu Dragmule fight Portgus D. Ace.
Wait, are you seriously eating fire?
Try eating this!
Like I said, you can't touch me.
I'm not trying to. Lightning Dragon Fire Mode! Lightning Fire Dragon!
Yeah. The animation of the death is really good too.
All's well that ends well.
KO!
So one fact that they kind of leave out of the end here that they do talk about in like the commentary for this episode is that they found that fire actually conducts electricity, so Natsu's lightning would be able to hit Ace, which is really what gave him the win.
But with Ace's intangible fire form, Natsu couldn't even touch him. So, sounds like a stalemate.
Very nearly. Luckily for Natsu, he had an ace in the hole.
Hey, there's one.
Oh, thanks. Natsu has had far more combat training than Ace, and is known for using his
But yeah, they
superior
put
senses to study
the
his
guy who
opponents
can
and take
eat
advantage of
fire
their
against the guy
vulnerabilities.
who's made of fire. So, again, I don't know what you expected.
He might even be stronger than he was when this fight started.
When Ace realized Natsu could eat fire, he had to become more liberal with his true physical form to avoid being consumed. And this was what Natsu was counting on.
Being faster than the eye can track, Natsu was more than quick enough to get a good hit in up close.
A perfect opportunity to use a fast, deadly elemental weapon Ace's body wasn't immune to: lightning.
It's not like Natsu was gonna run out of magic or anything. I mean, there's friggin' fire everywhere.
As his speed, strength, martial arts, and versatility surpassed Ace, all Natsu needed was one good
Yeah,
shot.
this episode's pretty good.
In the
I
end,
like this one.
Natsu was too hot for Ace to handle.
The winner
And
is
again,
Natsu
that death
Dragmule.
animation. Aw.
I'm Chad, I play Boomstick.
I'm Ben, I play Wiz, and stick around, we're about to announce who fights next time.
And if you want to watch exclusive commentary on this episode, click that little box, sign up for a first membership trial. It's a great way to support the show.
And what would follow the fire guy fight, but the ice guy fight?
Hey, Mr. J.
I don't know why it did that. Did it, like, get cut off there? Hold on.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Sign up for a first membership trial. It's a great way
I
to
think it gets cut off there, but next is Sub-Zero versus Glacius.
The freezing chill of death is a horrifying thought. Whether it comes from being alone in the mountains, submerged in the Antarctic,
Or if you're really unlucky, getting iced by one of these cool warriors. Wow, sorry, that was bad, even for me.
Sub-Zero, the cryomancer ninja of Mortal Kombat.
The fourth
And
one.
Glacius, the icy alien with a
might
killer instinct.
be.
He's Wiz and I'm
Yes, they
Boomstick.
used the Jason X
And it's our job to
liquid
analyze
nitrogen
their
scene.
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
Hold
a
on,
death battle.
let me see here.
For untold generations, the Lin Kuei assassins waged war with their rival splinter group, the Shirai Ryu. Desperate to claim victory in the bloody conflict, the Lin Kuei resorted to drastic means of recruitment for able-bodied soldiers, no matter what age they
Yeah,
were.
I guess
So, kidnapping
MK
children?
and KI
Kidnapping
just
children.
match up
Well, at least they got to be
together
ninjas. I
good.
bet their tiny little bodies would be even stealthier.
Turns out 2 of these kids just so happen to be descendants from a race of extra-dimensional beings experienced in the art of ice magic. Their names were Bihan and Kuai Liang.
With the Lin Kuei's training, these brothers became cold-blooded assassins and the finest warriors in the clan.
And whether it started as a joke or he just thought it was badass, Bihan adopted a brand new name, Sub-Zero.
Sounds like an online username from your teenage years that you regret forever when you're older.
Sub-Zero was so fierce and driven, he became directly responsible for the complete annihilation of the rival Shirai Ryu clan.
Unfortunately for him, one of them, called Scorpion, survived. Well, kind of, and decided to kill him right back. Which obviously pissed off Kuai Liang, who decided to do the same to Scorpion, and got it. It's like high school drama, but with murder.
Striving to honor his fallen brother, Kuai Liang assumed his brother's mantle as the champion of the Lin Kuei. Sub-Zero was reborn.
Sub-Zero.
This new Sub-Zero is a master of Shotokan Karate and Dragon Kung Fu, and enhances his martial arts with his deadly cryomantic abilities.
I think this is actually only the second or third Mortal Kombat vs. Killer
Instinct
Instinct
can make his own personal slip and slide. Perfect for surprise attacks. He can form
I think
all
they've done
sorts of
more
weapons
Mortal
out of thin
Kombat
air,
vs.
like
Street Fighter
daggers,
episodes
swords, or
at
even
this
ice
point.
hammers. But best of all, the dude can make ice so cold it instantly freezes anybody who touches it.
It's just these are 2 franchises that they use a lot.
Or the ice clone technique, both of which completely immobilize his opponent for devastating follow-up attacks.
Did he just make a perfect sculpture of himself?
I love how
Doesn't he go into the
clone
ice
in Ice
sculpting
Clone is
business?
spelled with a
Still to make
K,
a killing.
because Mortal
Well,
Kombat.
Just, you know, not the literal kind. He's got that down already.
Sub-Zero can also implement his cryomancy and ninja talents in what appears to be near-instant teleportation, an unexpected ability which baffles even his fellow assassins.
Yeah, but I bet that's still not as unexpected as turning into a friggin'
like
polar
Mortal
bear.
Kombat especially is
how,
very
though?
in
I
line
wanna
with
do
the
And best of all,
people fighting
after
to the death
subduing
with
his enemy,
often
Sub-Zero has no qualms
like
about tearing them to bloody
off-
shreds with one of his fatalities.
borderline comically brutal deaths.
50-year-old bro's favorite form of murder, Sub-Zero can rip a person's head off with their entire spinal column in tow. This one's for you, Bihan.
Again,
If
not
he's
thy
feeling
mind. Like, if
particularly
it fits
nasty,
the character,
Sub-Zero will
I'm
toy
cool
with
with
his
a
opponent.
like a
He'll
big,
encase their lower half in
creatively
ice and force them
brutal
to watch
death.
helplessly as he tears them in half. Or for a quick death, he'll put them in a deep freeze that shatters like
Yo!
glass.
At most,
Slick.
it takes Sub-Zero approximately 4 seconds to freeze a person in place, which in real-world physics is completely impossible. To induce full-body frostbite in that time, he would have to lower the surrounding temperature to negative 6.5 million degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a stupid amount of cold.
13,000 times colder than absolute zero, to be exact, making it a temperature which literally cannot exist.
And yet still not as cold as my ex-wife's heart. Ha! Anyway,
I don't know if I have
Sub-Zero has
any
more than earned his
OCs that are
reputation as one of
well
the most
enough
fearsome
formed
fighters in the Mortal Kombat universe. He's
to put
strong
them in a
enough to
death
break
battle like
titanium
this.
statues with a single chop, quick enough to dodge an oncoming rocket, and he defeated some of the best warriors across multiple dimensions, like the lizard dude Reptile and Taven the half-god, who single-handedly defeated dozens of Lin Kuei assassins. He's beaten his rival for life, Scorpion, several times, and even took on Batman?
Through sheer willpower, he survived injuries no normal
I
person
love
could
how
walk away from.
him
like
fighting
getting
Batman
torched in
is
the
just
face by a
canon
flamethrower,
because Mortal
or being
Kombat.
double impaled through the torso, and then torched again.
Whoa, that's a lot of blood. Like, how does he have any left?
I know, right? But that pales in comparison to when he underwent the procedures which turned him into a cyborg, and then was blown apart and reassembled into human form while still conscious.
Damn, what a tough son of a bitch.
But don't overestimate him. Although Sub-Zero keeps company with powerful spirits, undead wraiths, and immortal gods, he's not one of them. He may have incredible powers, but he's still just a mortal man. Also, his emotional baggage and desire to live up to his brother's name has clouded his judgment more than once.
But that didn't stop him from becoming Grand Master of the Lin Kuei. He changed their goals, turning them to the side of good, and even formed an alliance with his old rival Scorpion over a nice brunch. Life couldn't get any better. And then they found dragons!
SMT does, like,
Shirai
the
Ryu
problem is
dog.
because they are so strong, it's hard to find a fitting
Death is
matchup for
more
them.
honor than you deserve.
I know that people want
Beyond our solar
I've heard
system,
that
advanced
the
civilizations
protag
are
of
governed by the 88 decrees.
what's his
Should
name?
anyone dare violate these laws, they will find themselves targeted by the Galactic Marshals.
AKA Space Cops. One of these alien officers was sent to Earth to investigate an eerie distress signal, but he was shot down by the world-dominating corporation called Ultratech. You know, evil Walmart.
Ultratech had reverse-engineered equipment from an alien crash some decades prior, the Roswell incident. However, the use of advanced technology by less developed species is a clear violation of the 88 decrees.
Kinda like if you saw
It's
a chimpanzee
the guy
pick
with
up
the
a
hat.
flamethrower. It'd be awesome, but you'd want to take it away real quick.
I'm not
Determined
too
to correct these wrongs and return home, the alien marshal set his sights on bringing Ultratech to their knees and recovering his lost technology. And if he couldn't, he'd just blow it all up.
It was Ultratech who codenamed him Glacius.
What type? It's like a school uniform.
Don't let his name fool you. Glacius wasn't always known for his
Type of
fancy
thing.
ice powers. Actually, he comes from a race of aliens with weird telekinetic abilities.
By manipulating simple molecular structures, Glacius can use the environment nearby to create armor around his inner
SMT-5
body.
person?
This
No,
came in handy
earlier
when his
than
ship was
that.
shot down in Antarctica, and he lost his native shell.
So he had no choice but to make a new shell out of ice, which permanently turned him into an abominable snow monster.
With this new body, Glacius developed a fighting style to make the most of his new capabilities.
Glacius prefers to fight at a distance, using his long-range ice-bending attacks. He can turn his limbs into huge ice lances to keep enemies at bay, create spiky hail projectiles, and even summon spires of ice right under his opponent. And did he just punch that guy with an ice sculpture of himself?
More or less. That is the shatter technique.
Raido
a powerful
Kuzunoha.
burst
Yeah,
of
that
energy
guy,
which
that
summons
guy.
a mysterious uppercutting
I've
ice
seen a couple of
sculpture.
like matchups
Perfect
for
for
him.
opening up some sweet combos on his foes. Still, for all his keep-away game, you'd think he'd be a total chump up close. But remember how he can move ice with his mind?
I've seen him
Well, he
versus
can melt it too,
Constantine from
including
DC
himself.
Comics as
By
one.
turning his
and I
body
kinda
into
like
liquid,
that.
he can evade oncoming attacks, surprise opponents from below with the aptly named Puddle Punch, and even completely dissolve people into nothing. And as an added precaution, he can summon extra ice to his body to serve as thicker armor, though his molecular telekinesis is too limited to maintain this armor for long periods of time.
He may be made of ice, but Glacius can still hit hard enough to launch opponents several stories into the air, including the 550-pound Fulgor units Ultratech
Glacius.
is known for.
Yeah,
He's cunning enough to not only
he's an
infiltrate Ultratech's
interesting
highly guarded
zoner,
facility,
especially in
but also
the
surprise
modern
attack its
KI.
highly advanced robotic CEO, Arya. Before making his move, by Arya's own calculations, Glacius was able
Yeah, I
to
could
drop
see
the
how that
temperature
would be
of
a
the entire
problem.
room by 122 degrees Fahrenheit in
It looks
0.026
cool, though.
seconds. That's a quarter of a tenth of a second.
Oh
Just
well.
like Sub-Zero, he can lower a person's temperature by like thousands of degrees to freeze his opponents completely solid. And then he makes them explode with his mind.
Maybe Glacius's real name is Kelvin, because that's colder than absolute zero.
Feel like that was some sort of nerd joke.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you're not allowed to make a joke ever again.
Oh, why do you gotta be so cold? Anyway, in Glacius' mission to bring down Ultratech, he battled and defeated dozens of killer robots, a zombie pirate, a genetically engineered dinosaur fighter, and a werewolf.
He even killed Cinder,
Man.
the guy who's made of friggin' fire. You know, opposite ice.
I've also seen like
ridiculously
Demi
intimidating, but
Fiend
he does
versus
have a
Devil
weakness.
Man
His
as an
natural body
episode
within the ice is fragile
suggestion,
and defenseless.
which
His
would be
entire
cool.
fighting style is built around keeping foes away for this very reason.
So, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Glacius?
That's gross.
What? He looks like a giant popsicle with legs. Come on.
You know what, Boomstick? You're fucking weird.
Do not lick the Glacius.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, all this talk of these cold people makes me think of refrigerators, which makes me think of food.
Blue Apron, Blue Apron, Blue Apron, Blue Apron. I love Blue Apron. I love Blue Apron. I love Blue Apron. Death battle time. Look at him. Look at him run.
Your race is new to me. You will know the chill.
Challenge accepted.
You're a formidable warrior, but you lack conviction.
Got him. Nah. This one's
I know it's the theme and all,
okay.
but that was
You can
just
probably tell by
ice
how
cold.
easily I got
Glacius and
distracted
Sub-Zero
talking during
seem
the
to be a near
analysis.
match in terms of cryomantic abilities, but
Yeah,
it
the
was
fight itself
Sub-Zero
is
who
kind
had the
of
training and the power to bring
weak,
Glacius
a
down.
little short,
Sub-Zero
and
has fought ninjas,
I mean they're
robot
using like the
ninjas,
classic
secret agents, movie
KI
stars,
and Mortal
gods,
Kombat
and even
sprites,
fellow
which
ice
don't let
warriors.
themselves too
Glacius
well
really didn't
to
have
sprite
anything Subby
animations
hadn't
because
seen
there's not
before.
much way you can
And
like
while their speed
manipulate
was fairly
them
similar,
to do
Sub-Zero's impressive
other
reflexes
stuff.
and ninja-like skills gave him one of the most important edges in
But I
this
mean,
fight. He
I
could
don't think
maneuver
it's
around Glacius's keep-away
bad.
strategy, and his teleportation kept him a step
Also,
ahead.
the spine rip
even
fatality
able
was
to avoid
kinda weak.
Glacius's liquid form. And while Glacius did possess a minor form of telepathy, there's no evidence to suggest that it was used for anything other than direct communication.
Sub-Zero could take a lot of hits, so he wasn't going down easy. But if you put their defenses side by side, Glacius's ice armor does seem better. But it really didn't matter because Subs could just chop right through it.
Sub-Zero could shatter titanium statues in a single blow, a feat which requires at minimum 63,000 pounds of force per square inch. And titanium is
I know them
obviously
using the
tougher than
test
ice.
your might
Assuming
minigames
Glacius's shell
for
is composed
scaling
of
is
blue
kind of
ice,
contentious,
the purest and toughest form ice
but
can
I
take,
don't
it would
mind it
still
that
only
much.
take at most 57,000 pounds of force per square inch to crack his entire body in half.
Besides, it
And
didn't
he
really
didn't even need to
factor
go that
into the
far.
fight
Just
too
get to
much.
the squishy insides in the middle. I guess you could say that Glacius had his
It
expectations
allows them to
shattered.
test their might.
The winner
Yeah,
is
but
Sub-Zero.
everyone can test their might.
Hey, I'm Ben, I play Wiz, and I'm about to show you
Hi,
the matchup
Ben.
for the next death battle. And after that, please click that button over there to try a first membership and see the next episode before anybody else.
No.
Thanks for watching.
Next one is an interesting matchup.
Before we get to today's...
No, that is not the episode I wanted. Why'd it go to that one? Blonde one with lasers? Basically.
Sloth, pizza, chaos. This is Battle Sloth.
Lol,
Deep
so
dive
random.
Armorbud
No, I don't care. Yeah, blonde one with
I love a
lasers.
powerful woman. Even better, one that keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Battle,
And
yeah, the
today
far
we've
off
got two
year
of
of
them.
2025.
Android 18, the deadly
The
cyborg
dystopian
killer from
future
Dragon
where
Ball.
when that
And
game
Captain
is set.
Marvel, the hard-hitting, high-flying Avenger. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out
2025
who
was
would
not
win
the release
a
date, if
death
that's what you
battle.
were thinking. It's almost time for Battle Slots
In the
IRL.
age 763, peace had returned to the Earth. Unsung heroes, led by the Super Saiyan Goku, had saved the world from an evil galactic tyrant.
Everything seemed pretty hunky-dory until a mysterious time traveler showed up out of nowhere with a grave warning.
God, Trunks
In
is
just
so
3
cool.
years' time, 2 deadly androids would rise up and ravage the Earth, all while wearing the mark of the long-forgotten Red Ribbon Army.
This sounds like it's gonna get complicated real fast.
To be brief, the Red Ribbon Army was the greatest military
Trunks versus
force
Silver
ever
is
known,
very good,
even
but we're not
greater
there
than the
yet.
Earth's
We're not there yet.
entire
That's
armed forces
much
combined.
later.
Until a tiny monkey child named Goku strolled through and wrecked their shit.
Dr. Gero, founder and lead scientist of the Red Ribbon
yeah.
Army, held a grudge against Goku for over 20 years. Like any mad scientist hell-bent on revenge, the good doctor got back to doing what
That
he did
does
best.
not surprise
Building
me.
murder bots.
Silver's a cool
And
character.
so he designed some of his deadliest creations to date, Android 17 and Android 18.
Awesome.
Though Android isn't entirely accurate. 17 and 18 were actually humans once, siblings even. So that makes them cyborgs, not androids. You'd think a doctor with Gero's prestige would know the difference. I'll just chalk it up to a classic case of revenge madness.
I'd chalk it up
the best
to a
of us.
slight
Android 18's
mistranslation,
real
but
name
whatever.
is Lazuli, which sounds like some sort of Italian pasta dish. No wonder she kept the name 18 after brutally murdering her maker.
Yeah, Android 18 and her brother were pretty unruly and a force to be reckoned with. Giro, even with his own cyborg body, didn't stand a chance.
They're called
With nothing better to
Jinzo
do, the
Ningen,
twins
which
set off
just
to
means
ravage
like
the world as predicted.
enhanced
But this
human,
time, something
I believe,
changed.
like
After
mechanically
witnessing the
enhanced
compassion
human.
of the heroes, including a bald,
In
vertically
Japanese.
challenged martial artist named Krillin, 18 had a change of heart and joined the good guys.
She even wound up starting a family with Krillin.
Nice! Give it up for Krillin!
Good for
Not
Krillin,
only is
man.
he punching above his bracket, but he's laying pipe above it as well. Plus,
That is
18
fair,
doesn't
yeah.
really age, so that's a serious win.
Android 18 is an extremely competitive fighter with numerous deadly abilities. Giro's programming stems from decades of military dominance, granting her incredible hand-to-hand combat skills and mechanically enhanced senses for superb situational awareness.
And she's got the strength to back it up. This chick can embed a person straight into the side of a cliff with a single smack, or shoot explosions out of her hands.
She does this by harnessing Ki, a Taoist-inspired life force energy manifested through a person's spirit and vigor.
What the
With
hell?
her Ki, 18 can
What
fire
was
a
that
barrage
video
of
clip
energy
of that
beams
dude
powerful enough to
lighting
destroy buildings,
stuff on fire
continents,
IRL?
possibly even planets.
Like the finger beam. Talk about getting finger blasted, am I right?
No.
Oh, you know you laughed.
Absolutely not.
On the inside?
Yeah.
Android 18 has dozens of other techniques,
Yeah,
such as infinity bullets.
I know what you're thinking, but it's not a magic gun with unlimited ammo. It's a stampede of energy
and she
blasts
does
which are nearly
age,
impossible
just
to
not
avoid.
like
Her photon strike
as
lays waste to a vast
fast.
area in an instant.
But
She can
because
even
like
use
she's
her
still
husband's
partially
signature
human,
technique, the
so she
Destructo
does
Disc.
age in some
It's a
degree.
buzzsaw made of pure energy. Why don't more Dragon Ball characters use that thing?
Ki is just as much a defensive tool as well. Android 18 can enhance her
bug
strength,
fixes.
speed, and endurance
Give her
with her
an
energy,
update.
greatly surpassing the limitations of her physical body.
Oh yeah, and she can fly.
Unlike most warriors, 18's energy supply stems from a sort of battery within.
Yeah, but like
This
she's
system
older in
grants her a continuous and
GT.
potentially endless
Everyone's
supply of
favorite,
ki.
most
She'll
reliable
never get tuckered out.
source
In fact, one of her favorite combat strategies is
of Dragon
wasting
Ball
time to
knowledge,
make her
Dragon
enemy
Ball
exhausted,
GT.
then moving in to finish him off.
She's making him burn up all his energy and then she's going to attack him.
Like many of Dr. Giro's other androids, it's even possible for 18 to steal her foe's energy for herself by absorbing it through her body, increasing her power and nullifying her opponent.
So you can bet she'll always go the distance. Like Rocky Balboa, except, you know, way stronger and way prettier.
18 is
Yeah,
tough enough
true.
to deflect Goku's Kamehameha attack even while he's in Super Saiyan Blue form. Also, she can kick hard enough to break Super Saiyan Vegeta's arm.
What's so impressive about breaking an arm? You broke yours once just by falling out of your chair.
You might have missed the Super Saiyan part there. Vegeta's extremely high ki levels improve his body to support an impressive amount of weight. Leading up to the fight, Vegeta was training in 450 times gravity, making his weight about 55,000 pounds. That means the tibia in his leg would be supporting over 40,000 pounds, the equivalent of 8 pickup trucks.
Damn, I wish I had bones like that. I could fire so many bazookas and never have to worry about falling down.
On top of that, she's able to use her constant supply of ki to easily match the speed of a Super Saiyan. We've previously established that an ascended Super Saiyan
Oh
can
no,
fly
they're using the
approximately
scaling
340,000
from
miles per hour.
original Goku
So
versus
it's reasonable to
Superman.
believe 18 can do the same.
Man, this key stuff is seriously awesome. Maybe I should start meditating or something.
Do you even know how?
Yeah, all I gotta do is get drunk and sit on the floor crisscross applesauce style, right? Easy.
Sure. Anyway, just like Vegeta, Android 18's ki allows her to survive serious blows. She's even tanked the full brunt of a Super Saiyan ki blast, capable of obliterating an entire building without a scratch.
Can't say the same for that sweet-ass jacket. Man, 18 is awesome.
Awesome? Yes. Unstoppable? Not at all. Android 18 is unfortunately susceptible to a number of weaknesses, including her own programming. Fearing her unruliness, Gero designed her with a remote shutdown system in place, one that both he and Krillin's friend Bulma were able to exploit.
Wow, so this little thing will stop them, huh?
On top of that, 18 has a reputation of being cold and
Yeah.
apathetic. Although this is mostly just a guise, as she's always ready to defend her friends and family from threats. She even joined Goku, the man she was originally programmed to kill, for an interdimensional tournament bent on saving the universe from annihilation. It's safe to say the Super Saiyans are not the only blondes protecting the planet.
Believe me, when she gets that look in her eye, you better hold on to your Dragon Balls.
I know I'm being hard on you, but it's the only way you'll learn.
Captain Marvel has had many names in her career, but when she was born, she was simply Carol Danvers.
Carol grew up in Boston and joined the Air Force to pay for college. She quickly flew to the top of their ranks before moving
Anyway,
on
the
to
most
the Air Force
comparable
intelligence.
character,
Then she joined
Captain
NASA.
Marvel.
Damn, is
Again,
her superpower
blonde,
just having really badass
flying
jobs?
laser
Wonder if
ladies.
she could give me a recommendation.
Working at NASA was pretty cool until aliens attacked. Carol got caught in the middle of a massive battle between the Kree aliens and a Kree superhero named Mar-Vell, known to the world as Captain Marvel.
Well, wait. Captain Marvel's secret identity is Mar-Vell? Somebody forgot to read Superheroes for Dummies. Anyway, during the battle, Carol got stuck in a machine called the Psych Magnetron, which exploded. Luckily
guess.
for her, this was one of those explosions that turns you into a superhero.
The energy from the blast merged Carol's DNA with strands of Mar-Vell's. She developed an extra Kree brain
I mean,
lobe
the other
and gained
connection
most
that they
of
give
Mar-Vell's
them
powers,
is something they
transforming
actually
her
get
into a
wrong,
new
so
dynamic
we'll
superheroine.
get there.
Except she didn't even realize it at first. She'd just black out at random times and wake up to hear about a new suspiciously blonde superhero. Hey Wiz, maybe I have a superhero side like this. I mean, I black out all the time.
Boomstick, you don't have powers. You have a problem. Throughout her adventures, Carol went through several phases of superhero titles. First Miss Marvel, then Binary, then Warbird, then Miss Marvel again, until one day, Mar-Vell died.
Here's to you, Mar-Vell.
To honor her fallen friend, Carol Danvers took up his mantle, becoming the brand new Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is unbelievably
I
powerful,
forget if this was
with
before
superhuman strength and
the
incredible
Captain
durability.
Marvel movie came
She
out.
learned how
I
to
believe
fly
it
planes
was.
in the Air Force, but now she could fly herself and super fast.
Speaking of which, through her time with the Air Force and as a member of the Avengers, she's received years of quality combat training. Not
'Cause I
only
know
can
that
she
they
hit
did
hard, she can
another
fire
Captain
powerful
Marvel
concussive
episode
blasts
later,
of
and I
photon and
think
stellar light
that
energy from her
one
hands, as well as create
was
energy
released
fields.
at a
As
time,
if all
so they
that
could
weren't
tie it
enough,
into
Carol
the
can open
mold.
up an extra can of whoop-ass by absorbing energy. Absorbing anything from electricity to magic can make her even stronger.
With these powers, Captain Marvel has done some pretty amazing things. While training with the Avengers, the combat simulation measured that she could deliver a force of 92 tons. Almost 10 times the destructive power of a Davy Crockett nuclear missile.
She can survive energy blasts to the face and even the vacuum of space for a long period of time. Once she flew from Broadway to the end of the atmosphere in only 1 minute and 58 seconds. That's a lot of sky to cover in less than 2 minutes.
She claims that's her personal record. Now, considering the distance between a New York City street and the exosphere, Marvel must have been flying 247
they have.
times
They've done
faster
one
than the speed of
very
sound.
recently. in,
Carol has taken
season
out
10.
characters like Vision, punched Iron Man out
So,
of his armor,
again,
and even survived
we'll get to that
point-blank
eventually.
blasts from the Destructor's beam, which has enough power to punch holes through an Imperial Kree starship.
And that's not even the height of her power. If Marvel absorbs enough energy, she can access the powers of Binary, a form she took after losing her powers, getting lost in space, and being experimented on by aliens.
She is no
Long
longer
story.
non-binary.
As Binary,
she
she
is
can
just
tap into the power of a
binary.
white hole and generate star levels of energy.
And her hair's on fire.
Were you even listening? That's like the least interesting thing about it.
Says you. Look at it.
Binary was an extremely powerful form, capable of wiping out entire fleets of enemy ships, but one that Captain Marvel does not have easy access to. She initially lost the form after expending all of its energy, and is unable to reach it again without absorbing a massive amount of interstellar energy, such as the infinite energy from a gravitational field of a black hole singularity.
She's too stubborn to just give up, though.
She's stubborn to a fault, even rushing headlong into situations while ignoring advice from wiser, more experienced friends. Like the time she started a civil war between superheroes, or when she completely ignored her damaging addiction to alcohol.
Yeah, Carol is a badass with a hell of a lot of power. But if Tony Stark, of all people, thinks you have a drinking problem, you should probably listen to him instead of trying to fly into space while completely wasted. Yeah.
Regardless, Captain Marvel is a seasoned hero with a record that most would be envious of. Hell, she's such a pillar, she's named after the publishing company itself.
I mean, that's gotta count for something.
Anybody else?
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, it's time for some scrumptious Blue Apron.
Blue Apron, Blue Apron, I love 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 Blue Apron. Anyway, fight time, yay!
Get back! This orb is coming with me.
Give me a break, lady. I've been looking for that thing all day.
And they got the Dragon Ball Z abridged voice actress
Don't
for
make
18.
me hurt you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
good
that's
luck
cool.
With that. I really don't have time for this.
Hey!
Oh, what, like using the
What a
Dragon
pass.
Balls in
No
a fight?
fair. That's playing dirty.
That would be
Time to clean up then.
neat.
Surprise! Thanks for the energy.
Oh god, she blew the top of her head off and now it's on fire.
I can take whatever you give and dish it back twice as hard. Have a taste of your own energy.
What? Surprise! I can do it too.
She breaks her arms because that's the iconic Android 18 thing.
No fair. I can still.
Oh man, now there's really a hole in her head.
And that's that.
KO! Ouch! Now that's a crushing blow.
So the thing that really
Marvel
gets
may have been
people
one of the Avengers'
about
mightiest
this
warriors,
fight
but she couldn't
is
stand up
that
to the impressive power,
one of the
speed,
things they
and
mention
expertise
is
of
that,
Android
oh,
18.
18
First
could
off,
just
the numbers don't
absorb
lie.
Captain
When it
Marvel's
comes to
energy.
speed, Carol's
No, she
best
couldn't.
record put her in just under 200,000
They specifically
miles
state
per hour.
it's
But
specifically
18
stated
could
in
move
Dragon
over
Ball
100,000
that
miles
17 and 18
Most
can't
apparent
do
of all,
that.
Marvel's durability and
They just
strength
put
feats
it in there
simply
because
pale
she can do it in
comparison to 18.
Xenoverse.
The
Because
only
characters
way
get a
Marvel's
bunch of
power
stuff in
could match
Xenoverse.
18's was to absorb enough energy to reach her binary form.
But 18 is no stranger to that technique.
So,
There's no doubt she recognized what Carol was doing
yeah.
and stopped feeding her energy. Even if Carol had somehow achieved the full force of Binary, that wouldn't have guaranteed a win. I mean, the last time we saw Binary in the comics, she was taken down by some alien guns. Guess she's not as good at absorbing energy as she thought.
With superior speed, strength, tactics, and endurance, Android 18 simply wore Captain Marvel down until it was time to go in for the kill.
And that's why Captain Marvel lost by TKO. God, that one was awful.
The winner is Android 18.
Hey, don't go away. We're about to reveal the matchup for the next episode of Death Battle. And if you want to see exclusive commentary on this episode, click that little button over there and start a first membership trial. Helps us out a lot.
So I think this next episode is going to be where we end things off for the night. This is going to be our last one for the night. But yeah,
Hey, Mark.
Zero
Hey, Mr. J.
versus Metal Sonic. And I think I'm actually in the minority here when I say I really like this episode. I really, really like this episode. This episode's really cool.
Deadliest machine you possibly can.
Is that personal bias? Because I personally like both of these characters a lot, and I also really like this matchup. Yes, but I also think the episode's better than most people give it
And
credit
it's
for.
our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Dr. Eggman was a genius with a dream of a world ruled by his own iron fist. However, there was just one small problem, a speedy blue problem.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing alive. No matter how many times Eggman tried taking over the world, this freedom fighter just kept getting in his way.
But like any respectable scientist, Eggman was a problem solver. Thus, he developed the ultimate hedgehog killer, a machine which would not just equal his speedy nemesis, but surpass him.
And Dr. Tubby called his greatest creation Metal Sonic. He's even got a sweet chest speaker to blast Slayer all day long.
Speaker? What? No, he's just made of metal.
Oh, that's cool too.
To contend with his cool blue
Metal
rival,
Sonic's so
Metal
cool,
Sonic was
man.
built to reach and maintain incredible speeds.
And unlike most of his wacky inventions, Eggman actually got this one perfect. Metal Sonic is hella fast.
Metal Sonic is
both
also
these
equipped
guys
with
are
tons of
super
tools and
cool.
tricks specifically to overpower Sonic. He can fire a plasma pulse laser from his chest, construct a black shield which seems practically indestructible, and blast through obstacles by going V maximum overdrive.
Black Shield? Maximum Overdrive?
Not when I shift into maximum overdrive. Yeah.
V maximum overdrive, Metal overloads his own circuits to quadruple his speed while simultaneously surrounding himself with a destructive energy field.
If all that wasn't enough, Metal Sonic can scan his opponents to copy their techniques. He copied the explosive Knuckles Slam from Knuckles, ESP from Silver.
Also, hell yeah, Sonic Rivals, let's
and
go.
even copied Shadow the Hedgehog's signature Chaos Control.
He can only copy specific moves at a time, but whatever power he takes is not limited by his physical body.
Oh,
This is
Mega
because
Man
Metal
X
Sonic
games
can
are so
actually
good.
morph and
Most of them
manipulate
are.
his form.
He
Most of
totally
them are.
stole that from T-1000.
Funny mentioning Terminator because you're not too far off. Metal Sonic is so powerful that he's overcome his own programming, overthrown his creator, and attempted a global takeover all on his own.
And he can do it too. He's shielded attacks from Shadow's deadly Chaos Spears and Silver's telekinetic ESP. He's dodged attacks from Knuckles, Amy, and Espio at the same time. And he even competed in the Olympics. You know
I like how
tough it is
that's
to qualify
in the
for that?
feats
Like,
that he
really
competed
tough.
in the
Plus,
Olympics.
he gives Sonic a run for his money whenever they race.
Metal can match and sometimes even outpace Sonic's speed. Sonic's specific top speed is technically unknown. He boasts that he's faster than light, but he has yet to prove this in canon without the aid of additional equipment. Sonic's highest speed is officially described as hypersonic, and his best record comes from Sonic Unleashed, where he's recorded running up to 3,000 SPD. Assuming this translates to metric meters, given the game's Japanese development, this puts Sonic in the high end of the hypersonic spectrum, clocking his highest recorded speed at a whopping 6,711 miles per hour.
That's over 8 times the speed of sound. Damn, I wish I was that fast. Could have escaped my ex-wife way before things got serious.
This speed is likely what Dr. Eggman was aiming to beat when designing Metal Sonic. Even then, with his abilities like V Maximum Overdrive, Metal Sonic can increase his speed up to 26,844 miles per hour. That's Mach 35, more than enough to reach escape velocity.
And this bot has a lot of power behind him. In one of his battles with Sonic, their conflict caused enough damage to break off that ginormous stalactite over the city. Look at the size of that thing!
By comparing its size to the nearby buildings and assuming a granite-based composition, we can estimate that the stalactite weighs over 46 million tons. The energy required to cleave a rock that size could be as high as 200,000 tons of TNT, 10 times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki.
And if that's not powerful enough for you, Metal Sonic has a couple different super forms.
Knuckles
There's a
Chaotix
Red Titan
mentioned,
form,
let's
his Neo
go.
form, and best of all, Metal Overlord. Again with the band names. By copying the powers of Sonic and his friends, Metal transformed into this flying dragon-looking thingamajig. It can fire missiles, shoot gigantic chunks of crystal, trap opponents, and destroy everything.
Metal Overlord is so impressive, it took the combined might of Super Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to take him down.
Yeah, he may be metal as hell, but he's not indestructible. Despite being Sonic's superior in almost every way, he still loses fights to him more often than not.
Metal Sonic is extremely durable, but his internal systems are susceptible to overloading if pushed too far. For example, every time he uses his V Maximum Overdrive attack, he risks permanent damage. Also, even though he's mimicked multiple organic abilities, they're sort of simplified versions. He's never displayed any at their greatest potential.
Still, this is one of the deadliest machines we've ever seen. As long as Metal Sonic's around, even the fastest thing alive struggles to keep up.
All living things kneel before your master.
For decades, the robotic war between Dr. Light and Dr. Wily left destruction in its wake. No matter how many machines
Hell yeah,
Wily
Mega
created
Man.
in his quest for world domination, Dr. Light's own Mega Man was always there to stop him. But like any successful genius, Dr. Wily was determined to have the final word, even if it came from beyond his grave.
Wily put all the smarts he could into creating the best robot he'd ever built. Its name was Zero.
Dr. Wily's plan to create the world's most powerful robot succeeded all too well. Designed for combat and violent by nature, Zero was primed to put Wily back on top.
Just one problem. Because of a glitch, Zero was totally disobedient to Dr. Wily and attacked him. I mean, I don't blame him. If that face was the first thing I saw when I woke up, I'd probably punch it too. Or send it back to the bar whence it came.
How sad, all that hard work wasted over a single programming flaw. Wily was forced to seal Zero away, and he wouldn't be discovered for another 100 years.
But a long nap wasn't enough to calm him down. When he woke up, he wasted everything around him, until he was stopped by Commander Sigma, the leader of the peacekeeping Maverick Hunters.
Sigma may have stopped Zero, but then things got complicated. For some reason, Zero's stasis pod also contained a mysterious virus. The virus infected Sigma and, for some reason, swapped Sigma and Zero's morality alignments.
So Sigma turned evil and Zero turned good, just like Robot
Mega Man
Freaky
lore
Friday. Being a good
is
guy now,
odd
Zero joined the
at
Maverick
times.
Hunters, making it his mission to eliminate any machine which posed a threat to the world. Because what else are you gonna do in Robot World but fight crime with a laser sword?
He's certainly well equipped for the job. The Z-Buster is Zero's go-to long-range weapon,
Hell
with both
yeah.
rapid-fire and charged energy shots.
He's also got tons of deadly spears, hammers, and chains, but his favorite weapon is his trusty energy sword, the Z-Saber.
The Z-Saber is arguably Zero's most essential weapon. With it, he can
Music's
cut other
so
machines
good.
down to size with a
Love
wide variety
Mega
of
Man.
grounded and airborne strikes. Furthermore, he can enhance his blade by mimicking the power of his enemies. This lets him use the Z-Saber for attacks imbued with fire, ice, electricity, and even metal.
But he can copy more than just sword stuff. Zero can use the Twin Dream technique to create a clone which mimics his every move. He can summon robot dragonflies to fight alongside him, call down beams of energy from the sky with Rikoha, and even use Dark Hold to temporarily freeze time.
Hell yeah.
If necessary, Zero can activate Black Zero mode. This form halves his defense in order to double his attack power and quadruple his speed. He can also transform into the stronger and faster Absolute
Oh
Zero.
yeah, Mega Man
Yes,
X
that's what it's
Command
called.
Mission
In this
stuff.
form,
Oh,
he
wonderful.
loses access to his Z-Sword and acquired abilities, but he gains razor-sharp claws and the power of flight.
Check out those bat wings. You know, with all these cool powers, he's pulled off some crazy shit. He's defeated dozens of Mavericks and even Sigma himself multiple times.
Not to mention stopping dozens of other threats to the entire planet, such as when Eurasia, an enormous city floating in space, fell to Earth in a crash course similar to the asteroid which annihilated the dinosaurs.
But that's okay. Zero took care of it. How? By flying a space shuttle right into it like a badass. And he survived. Suck that, Asteroid City.
Moreover, it's important to remember Zero was specifically built to be far superior to the original Mega Man. We've analyzed Mega Man before, and learned he could keep up with the speedy Quickman and catch a 60,000-ton castle.
So, Zero's better than that.
Zero is undoubtedly Dr. Wily's greatest creation, but like the mad scientist's other machines, he has his downfalls.
God, Zero's so
Despite being a
cool.
machine, Zero is susceptible to exhaustion, and if he receives too much damage, not even his auto-repair systems can return him from the brink.
Also, he sometimes comes down with a bad case of edgy anime protagonist.
What am I fighting for?
Hell yeah.
And yet, Zero
Glad
is
they
a
included
fearless
that.
guardian who won't rest until his world's safety is secured, even if he has to be reincarnated multiple times to do it.
And kick his own ass.
I don't even
Mega
need my
Man
sword
Zero
for such an
series
easy
mentioned.
fight.
Based. Anyway, time for the
All
fight.
right, the combatants
After,
are set.
you
Let's
know,
end this debate once and for all.
a Blue Apron ad.
Robots can't really enjoy food. But for all the humans out there, do I have news for you? And it's from a production with Zen.com. It's time.
So the fight animation is the divisive part of this episode.
Found a Maverick.
Cause
I'll take care of it.
it takes some interesting artistic direction. Also, the sound design is very also interesting.
Just like a training program. How did this happen? Charge shot!
Also, the track, no one talks about the music track in this episode. It's so good. Listen to this crunchy ass sound design.
Yeah! Rikoha! Crap!
Take this.
there's the stupid Batwings form.
Chaos control.
This'll be over in a nanosecond. Mission accomplished.
Hell yeah. I don't care what anyone says. That fight's so good.
And boom goes the giant flying robot
It's
monster.
so cool.
Metal Sonic was a
People
worthy
are
adversary,
iffy on
but
the
Zero
like
was
the
simply
weird
better equipped for this
3D
battle.
models.
At Mach
I think they
35
work for like
speeds, Metal
this
seemed
episode
like
in
a shoo-in
particular.
for
If it
better
was
speed,
another
right?
matchup,
On paper,
they wouldn't,
maybe,
but
remember, Mega Man beat Quickman,
they
and
work
Zero
really
was
well for
built
these
to
two
surpass
characters.
Mega Man in
And I don't
every
mind
way.
the sound design. I like how kind of like heavy it is.
Over 8 times faster
Again, it's
than
all
Metal
stuff that
Sonic.
works for
Scaled
this
to the
matchup
inferior
specifically.
Mega Man, Zero could certainly handle a machine of Metal Sonic's speed.
Zero's vast arsenal also gave him plenty of options for just about every situation, even when Metal tried screwing with time.
But yeah,
Unlike Metal,
I
Zero actually possessed
I like their
multiple
conclusion.
methods
It
of
basically
stopping
boils down
time,
to,
which
yeah,
were more
Metal Sonic's
instantaneous and
strong,
just as effective as Metal
but
Sonic's imperfectly copied
destroying
chaos
robots
control.
like Metal Sonic is literally Zero's job.
The durability
So,
difference was pretty clear too.
like-
Zero's feat with the Eurasia space colony trumps anything Metal's ever endured. The resulting explosion was similar to the asteroid impact which killed the dinosaurs, an event estimated to have equaled 100 trillion tons of TNT.
But even surviving a tiny fraction of that explosion was far more impressive than the 200 kilotons of TNT needed to break that giant rock. And that was from Metal Sonic and Real Sonic's power combined.
Even ramming
So
Zero
yeah.
at full speed would not have done much.
Good episode.
Moving at Mach 35, Metal's 276-pound body would only hit with enough force to destroy a building.
Oh and yeah, the track is like a
Blunt.
remix
Not only was Metal
of
Sonic outmatched in
Big
speed
Arms
and
from
durability,
Sonic
but
3
he didn't
and
have the
X
means
vs.
to
Zero
truly
from Mega
kill
Man
Zero,
X5,
whereas Zero's shown
which are
time and
both
time again that
bangers.
he could destroy enemies
So it's
just as
just,
tough and bulky as Metal Overlord.
Looks
Good
like
all
Metal
around.
Sonic was the real Zero in this fight.
The winner is Zero.
But yeah, that's gonna be
Hey, don't go away. We're about to reveal the
That's
matchup
gonna be
for
the
next
last
episode of
episode,
Death Battle.
uh,
And if you want to see
for
exclusive
tonight.
commentary on this episode, click that little button over there and start a
We're
first
gonna
membership trial.
see the
Helps
next
us out a lot.
time trailer. It's Lucario versus Renamon next time. Oh boy. So hey, let's update the tier list with the new ones. That's definitely better than that. Venom versus Bane, not great. Natsu versus Ace, pretty good. Power Rangers versus Voltron, very good. Favorite of the season so far. These two are also okay. Zero versus Metal Sonic, I really like. I'm putting it all the way up there. Okay. So that's going to be it for this time. Next week, when we come back to this, I'm really excited because we have a bunch of bangers coming up next time. So I hope you're all ready for that. But for now, we're going to sign off. It's like 11 p.m. here. But yeah, thank you everyone who came down to watch. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. Thank you all for coming, and you all have a good night.